And there's the stream. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels, Rime of the Frostmaiden. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay!
I'm Christiana Ellis, and I'm the Dungeon Master. Our players tonight, Liberdet as Iggy.
Hello.
Spence as Smaragd Nachtmere, a.k.a. Mara. Is she muted?
She's still sleeping. She's exhausted.
I see.
Leave her alone.
Yeah, gotcha. Jason Banks as Rowan Gregor.
What's going on, guys?
The Dread Gazebo that is currently sitting in for Nobilis playing Arvik. Those of you listening to audio, he's just AFK at the moment. David Archambault as Wilfred Cole.
Hi.
And Paul Weimer as Aule.
Salve.
And there's Nobilis. Welcome back. We just introduced you. You missed it.
I'm sure it was marvelous.
Okay, so when last we left our heroes, they had dealt with the ghost of Nas Lantamir, the rival wizard that had stolen your companion Valine Harpel's Professor Orb. And now you have infiltrated the Frostmaiden's palace only to discover that the vault where the Codicil of White, this book that you need, is stored. And you discover the vault door will only be opened to those who pass the Frostmaiden's 4 trials.
And more importantly, I only got to eat an ice troll heart.
Ah, yes, you did. And you got to have a regeneration feature for a very short amount of time.
Didn't
I mean, technically it was 24 hours. It's just that that time passed.
Did not give him even 1 hit point.
No. Yes, it did.
Oh yeah,
I was down 4 hit points from the troll.
Okay, got you 4. Right.
Yeah.
We also got to have our own Donner Party moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like we underwent 2 of the trials, one of which made us think we were going crazy and losing party members.
Yes, you learned that the 4 trials of Auril the Frostmaiden are the trial of cruelty, the trial of endurance, the trial of isolation, and the trial of preservation. And you have so far completed endurance and isolation, whereupon you found yourself magically transported to, as far as you can tell, real Reged nomad camps, whereupon you were forced to perform trials to try to prove yourselves in the ways of endurance and isolation. So far, so good, although many of you were left with several levels of exhaustion following the endurance trial. So you decided to kind of set up camp here in the basement of this enormous frost giant fortress. You know, listening to the antics of the gigantic walrus, awakened walrus Akuma, who is technically a guard but mostly enjoys sliding around on the ice and eating. Eating's good.
I think once this is all said and done, we should save all this.
Once things are all said and done.
Yeah, it's a nice walrus.
Yeah.
You said save the walrus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Totally
he
on
said
board.
save the walrus, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Save the
Let
walrus
him go
before.
free to have fun among
Mm-hmm.
Assuming
Not-
that,
the ice and the
Yes.
snow and the cold waters.
assuming that is that when we come out carrying the Frostmaiden's treasure out of the vault, he doesn't say, "Oh no, you can't do that," and attacks us.
Yeah.
That
Well,
is
we can always run
true.
past him, hopefully.
He's pretty fast on that
Yeah,
ice,
he's
though.
pretty nimble on that ice.
We have 2 trials and to get into the vault before we worry about that, and
Right.
people to get unexhausted like Mara before we contemplate that. So, eyes on the prize, guys.
Yeah. So, the 6 wings, so to speak, of this snowflake-shaped dungeon, you have visited the southeast and northeast wings, which were the 2 trials you've performed already. To the direct north is a tomb of a frost giant queen, so you're told. You haven't investigated it. To the south is the vault itself, which tells you you need to pass the trials first. And then the 2 currently unopened trial wings at the northwest and southwest.
Did we not, maybe not after the 4th trial foil, maybe after this trial, I propose we might want to consider looking at that Frost Queen tomb. I mean, after we go into the vault and get the book, we're going to be running for our lives. That won't be the time to do it. But maybe before we complete the trials, maybe we might want to take a peek in there, see if there's anything useful, interesting, something to strike at the Frostmaiden, weaken the Frostmaiden.
I mean, once we alleviate some exhaustion, we may be able to do it because it's just a tomb. And
I mean, you have myself and you have Mara. I think we can handle undead pretty decently at this point.
yeah. So I feel like we could do that now while we're resting.
But I wonder if there's not some sort of danger there that if in our exhausted state we might not be ready to face. But I want to before we have the book and we're trying to run to escape.
Well, so I believe we left off with you all completing a long rest. So all of you who had levels of exhaustion would be able to remove 1 level.
Yep,
Yeah, so
I've
I'm
done
down.
that.
I'm down to 3 levels of exhaustion.
And so is Valine. So she's still looking pretty rough. But, she camped out in kind of the opposite alcove to you with the rest of her kobolds.
She's got plenty of books to read. She
She
has a good
also...
time.
I think what she tells you, though, is, as far as I'm concerned, we have already completed the endurance trial, which is the one that took so much out of us. I suspect the other 2 are not going to be similar. They will have their focus on their own qualities, and so
I agree. I think that we are best off if we go in and do the remaining trials.
So, what's the exhaustion levels now?
Mara and
I'm
Valine
0.
are at 3.
yeah.
Okay.
I think everybody else is either less than 2 or has 0.
Yeah, have 0 or 1. Yes.
Okay, good.
1 is not too terrible, but beyond that is
going to
pretty
be
bad.
horrific.
So
Yeah.
Valine has made the point that she, although she is certainly tired, she would not have the group wait on that account. So she is ready and willing to proceed.
Well, do we think it's a safe idea to split the party? They've not had no one's been attacked or bothered while we've been doing the trials thus far.
But I wonder if there's some sort of unseen esoteric. I only wouldn't use the word esoteric, but Paul would. So, marker that you have to go through all the trials before you're allowed into that vault, and if some people don't, then we're gonna have trouble with trying to get in.
I think it's best if everybody goes through all the trials.
Well, I'm ready to go. I don't know about any of you.
I think
You're so eager.
He's a little hot. You've been a little hot-fired lately, Wilfred, I must say. I'm not sure I don't know if this is you becoming a mage or something, but I'm not sure I like this new you.
Confidence is confidence, though.
Recklessness, however,
I mean-
will get you killed.
Well,
When you're good, you're good.
He has a point too. Besides, if we are not to proceed with the trials today, we're just going to all sit around here all day? Now, I certainly have books to read, but now that we've recovered Professor Scant, he can fill in any gaps of our knowledge of the Netherese. And every day we delay is a risk that one of my rivals beats us there.
That wouldn't be good.
Listen to the lady we're working for. I think we should get moving.
Ready. So, which ones do we have left?
Up and down.
Cruelty and preservation.
I am going to vote for cruelty, seeing as the last one that was similar. Well, preservation sounds slightly similar to
Endurance.
endurance,
No.
and that messed us up.
Well, okay.
I think cruelty is the way we go here.
All right.
Well, we don't know what it is until we get to the door that labels it, and usually we're shunted directly into the test.
Well, but you're shunted into the test when you push the door open.
Oh, okay.
So let's go check out the cruelty door.
So the door to the northwest is the one that's labeled cruelty.
Mara's
All right,
still
then
dead
that-
asleep, so
Well, no, well, she doesn't sleep though. She's trancing. She's just chilling,
She's
pretending
in
to
permanent
sleep.
trance.
oh no, she's actually out. She's actually sleeping
Okay.
for once.
That's disturbing.
Yes. Rowan tapped her on the shoulder slightly.
Mm-mm.
Time to work.
Yeah, we're going to check out another one of the trials
Why?
because time isn't on our side.
Mm.
Remember, we are in the basement of the Frostmaiden.
Oh, right. That
If
would
she
be
comes
why
down
I'm
here,
cold.
we will die.
Yeah,
Okay.
being trapped in a snowy, cold basement with the lady who controls the snowy cold. Not, yeah.
Okay, fine.
Ukuma kind of slides by and just says, "Good luck."
Thank you, Akuma.
Akuma.
You know, I really like having you guys around. You know, it's kind of fun. You know, like usually the only people who come down here are the frost druids, and they're kind of mean.
They don't talk to you. They don't treat you as a person. That's not good, Akuma. Everyone
Well-
deserves respect.
I think it's not so much a matter of respect as much as just maybe personality differences.
Yeah, humans come in many different flavors. Some more tolerable than others.
Tastier.
I do not eat humans. Ollie spits out.
Only troll.
Well, anyway, I'm glad your kobold friends are staying. They're teaching me about something called gambling.
Oh no! Scared, Will.
I will beckon Akuma to me, and I'll say,
This elephant-sized walrus.
yeah, and I'll say, if you look, the third one with the blue neckerchief, when he lies, his knee twitches.
Oh,
Amazing talent.
you think he's lying to me?
That is called a bluff.
Okay.
So if he says he has something, or if he's betting a lot, but his knee is shaking, he does not have anything worth
bluffing.
betting on. Okay?
Okay.
And Wolf said, "Let's do this," and push door open.
All right. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
He is far
'Cause it's
too
still these
enthusiastic.
frost giant-sized doors.
Overly excited.
21.
All right. I
But
believe
he
that
gets
was
the
what-
job
I
done.
believe it was 20. That was the limit there. Okay, so you push on through into that one, and you're looking up ahead.
And does the door still have the little riddle on it for the
Uh,
inside?
Well, so Baron, so there was the door down to the south for the vault that had it more like a riddle. This one just has the door in the lintel above it that just says cruelty.
Okay.
So, Helene comes in, and so you go to push open that door.
Yep.
All right. Let's bring you over to the map. Okay, you are at the top of the map once again, the northern edge of here. So, once again, your surroundings vanish in a flurry of snow and ice, now familiar to you as it has happened for each of these previous tests. When your vision clears, you find yourself standing at the edge of a camp, its tents holding fast against a raging blizzard. And so the weather is frightful. Yes. So, and you once again realize that you have these strange little glowing snowflake symbols hovering above your head.
We are special snowflakes again.
Yes. Right, well, let's go see what the business is here.
All right. So once again, Arvik and Rowan can make a history check to see if they can recognize like which tribe this camp might belong to, and know anything about them.
Oh.
Okay.
You go.
Yeah.
17.
With a 17, Arvik, you recognize that this is a bear tribe camp. Now, you know that recently the bear tribe is not as strong as it once was, partly because they've had a lot of internal strife. And now that you know some things about, like, for example, the Chardalin berserkers that you fought wore bear tribe skins.
Okay.
You suspect that some of the internal strife they had might have been because some faction of them or other decided it was good to use Chardalin and the rest didn't like that. But that's speculation. But by and large, the bear tribe, like, if the elk tribe is the one that is sort of most friendly to outsiders, the bear tribe would probably be the second most friendly. But at the same time, they've fallen on hard times of late. So as you move into the camp proper, let me close this. Okay, as you move into the camp proper, you look and you see that this camp looks like not entirely deserted, but there's maybe a fifth of the number of people you would expect for a camp this size. And they are all kind of gathered in the center, and as you approach, the one who's clearly the chief is this guy who, you know that the chief of the bear tribe is a man named Gunvald Halragesson, and he's this very, tall, strong-looking guy who has a very severe expression on his face. And as he looks over and sees you and the little snowflake symbols you have on his head, you see that he's got a shaman next to him, who is a woman who kind of whispers something to him, and he nods and he beckons all of you closer. And you see as you get closer in that everyone here looks like hungry and a little bit wild-eyed, a little bit desperate. And next to where, so we've got the chief right here, and then the shaman is over here, and then there are four kind of old and weak-looking individuals that have been brought out and are sort of sitting there on their knees outside of one of the tents. And as you approach, Gunvald looks at you and says, "Emissaries of the Frostmaiden, that indicates that our plan is an auspicious one, and I would not deny the Frostmaiden her due.
What
And
is your plan?
He gestures to the four elderly individuals and says, oh, one more. This is something I meant to say at the beginning of the episode, but this is the test of cruelty, so I want to just give everyone watching and the party members, we talked about it a little bit already, a little bit of a content warning, because this is a nastier one than some of the stuff we've done before. So I meant to say that earlier. I've now kind of broken the mood a little bit, but here we go. So just letting you know. So in any case, what he says is, my tribe has run out of food. We sent out our hunters, but they have not returned. The time has come for those who cannot contribute to our tribe to contribute in the only way they can, as meat. It would seem that the Frostmaiden has sent you to carry out the execution. And so he gestures to them and steps aside.
I am going to gesture to Aule to come over.
Yeah, I'll move over to Nobilis. Well, I'm sorry, not Nobilis. Harvick.
In the and there's a blizzard going on, right? There's all kinds of winds and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like it's a little bit more sheltered here in this inner circle of the camp because they've got the tents all
Yeah,
arrayed
but-
around.
but
But yes, it's a
be able
blizzard
to-
going. It's very
I
harsh
should be
winds.
able to speak without being overheard.
Yeah, you can step far enough away that
Yeah.
you don't have to go too far for that.
In the ancient times of the Goliaths, when a sacrifice was made, it was not the least powerful who were sacrificed, but rather the chief who gave his life to sustain the tribe. We don't do that anymore, but there are tales, generations ago. So if this chief has failed to provide for his people, then I think he should be the one. But here's the question. Is the Frostmaiden going to accept that?
I
Is it
think
not in 10
Valine
towns
sees you
that?
whispering and would follow over to start listening.
Yep. Is it not in some of the towns in 10 towns that they've been sacrificing people?
Yes,
This
but not
is similar.
it goes a little further, but yes.
This goes a little further, but it is similar. But I agree with you. If anyone should die here, I would rather it be the chief than these revered elders.
Valine, I think at this point says, while I understand the level of moral objection here, I think that it's possible we may need to take a pragmatic approach, even completely separate from our desire to pass the Frostmaiden's trial. Think about this. If the chief is not willing to submit, you are proposing a fight. And if the others rally to his side, then instead of just the 4 helpless ones dying, you will kill the whole tribe.
I was going to make the suggestion to him rather than try to enforce it.
Well,
But,
I don't oppose you suggesting it, but my guess is his answer will be no. He probably did think of that already.
I would see.
So,
Go ahead.
while everyone else is talking about this, Mara's going to go over to the 4 that are rounded up.
Okay.
And so, I just want that to be a thing that can happen while this conversation is going
sure.
on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I would suggest Arvik If that is the direction you want to take your suggestion, then I would say season it with the concept of him leaving a legacy of a great leader by allowing his people to ingest his flesh so that they will remember him, survive, and carry on that legacy. That's the only way I can see potentially that it would work. Because I kind of look around, because if you look at them all, they are on the last of their ropes, it would seem. They don't look even keel right now. So if we try to force it, I have to agree with Valine here. I think they will fight, and then we may become the meal.
Well, I was just offering an alternative.
No, I agree with trying that suggestion.
I'm also interested in hearing what the potential sacrifices feel about it. If they are willing, then I have less compunction.
There's a wild card we can take here if he doesn't agree with your suggestion, but I think you would still have to be the one to make it. And at that point, it would not be convincing him, but basically convincing the tribe to turn on him because he has displeased the Frostmaiden, which is why the hunters have not come back, which is why they do not have food. We are emissaries of the Frostmaiden, mind you.
Well,
Or seen to be.
we are seeing this. Yes.
Iggy, Wilfred, thoughts?
Wilfred's kind of just been bowled over by the fact that eat each other? What? So it's
Things, having lived in Tin Towns for a time and traveled the mountains and the wilds and the colds, it is not unheard of for explorers and adventurers to get lost and consume their allies to make it out of that situation.
I mean, making the decision while the person's still alive just not something I would have thought of.
It's cruel, but the laws of nature and survival are never kind.
I mean,
Right in tooth and claw.
if it were my question, and all of you were in danger, and I could ensure your survival for another week by sacrificing myself, I would do that. Perhaps this is no much different than that. I mean, we can probably convince ourselves that this is the best thing for any number of reasons.
Well, Valine is saying it doesn't matter if you convince yourselves. You have to convince them. And I don't oppose bringing it up, but I am highly skeptical that they would agree to sacrifice their chief in order to save people who are not able to contribute anymore. I just don't see that happening. And I think that at least we should have a plan B.
So, Mara is in front of the elders.
Mm-hmm.
And she kneels down in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to give your lives for this tribe?
First of all, they look afraid of you. They keep kind of not meeting your eyes. They keep looking up at this little snowflake thing hovering over your head.
Mm-hmm.
But they're obviously frightened. And the one you directly address kind of says, "Well, we don't want to die, but we can't resist the others. If they decide to kill us, I don't think there's anything we can do."
Very well. And I turn and I to create food and water.
Okay.
Until the sacrifices are willing, make this last.
All right.
Oh.
So that's interesting.
Well,
Yeah. So we have as soon as this food is available, I think everyone around is sort of immediately looking at it like, oh my gosh, is it okay? Is it okay to eat that? And but they're all looking to the chief, who looks at it with kind of a stern, slightly confused expression, and then he's been kind of whispering back and forth with his shaman, and everyone else at the camp looks like they're ready to eat it, but he holds them off for a moment, and he looks at you, Mara, and says, "As you are sent by the Frostmaiden, I am perhaps willing to allow my men, my people, to consume this food, but I am confused. This is not what my knowledge of the Frostmaiden would lead me to understand she would desire of us. To make no sacrifice at all, but simply receive food for nothing? What is this?"
This is an opportunity to find another way. It is time to find another way.
And will you
If
be
you
bringing
find-
this spell to us again tomorrow?
Until another way can be provided, or until your sacrifices are willing, then yes.
I don't think they'll be willing as long as you're providing free food.
I could have.
Besides, the shaman whispers in his ear again, and he says, "I saw your arrival as an indication that the Frostmaiden approved of this gesture, but now I'm wondering if it's actually a test. Perhaps if all of you are not willing to perform the execution, then I must simply do it myself."
I think Wilfred's going to step up to him and say, "Well, perhaps the test is of not of who, if you would be willing to do this, do the sacrifice, but if you would be willing to be the sacrifice."
His face just scrunches up and says, "What nonsense is this?"
You are the leader. You are the strongest. If if the whole is, if the body is weak, then the head is the one at fault.
The shaman speaks up at this point and says, "You would have what is left of our tribe sacrifice its greatest strength to protect those who are already weak? What madness is that?"
Rowan speaks up. He steps up and speaks up and says, "You seem to be a practitioner of the mystic arts. Don't you understand the value of history? Learning? If the Frostmaiden smote you right now, who would carry on your legacy of knowledge and power?"
"The Frostmaiden would not smite me because I uphold her principles."
And again, maybe she has found your leader unwilling in your role to step up.
I'm going to tell you that I'm not even going to have you roll for that, because what you're saying just goes against her entire, like, it would be like trying to I don't know. I don't want to make a real world example. But yeah, so I think you're seeing that is not fertile ground. You're not going to persuade the shaman with that line of argument. And I think Valine looks over to Arvik and just says, "The Frostmaiden sent us here with a trial of cruelty. As admirable as perhaps it might be to try to save these individuals, it seems clear to me that would represent a failure of this trial."
That's what I was worried about.
I think, in character, I think you guys can probably tell with how Wilfred's been acting. He might do something a little more brash than usual. So, like a challenge of single combat, but so someone would like to step forward and do something.
Yeah, Mara will put a hand on his shoulder.
I look at Arvik and Valine and say, well, we gave it a shot. I mean, the worst we can do is leave him to do the task himself if he feels it proves.
Well, that might be a failure as well.
I think the test is for us to show the cruelty of the Frostmaiden and embody it. Since we're embodying these aspects of the Frostmaiden in these trials. If we don't do it, we fail the test.
So Mara, you have religion proficiency, right?
Well, not as a trained thing, no.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Okay, Iggy, you can make a religion check. I think
Mara is self-taught. Mara doesn't know shit.
Oh wow. Well, so never mind. It's moot because Iggy, I think that based on your kind of understanding of how sometimes these things are seen by lesser and greater gods, you think that because for all of you your impulse here is to want to protect the weak, it may be sufficient to simply not do that. Meaning you don't necessarily have to carry out the act yourselves, as long as you don't prevent it.
So I will insert myself into the situation for the first time. Say, remember that this is an evil goddess, and it is evil to prevent it. All it takes for evil to survive is for good to do nothing. So it should be sufficient to pass the test if we just back off and let this happen.
I think it is at least the least we can do for these people to witness it. And I need a drink.
I'll look at our group and say, what if we say, have this meal, and if when your bellies are full,
This is still
you
what you
still
want.
believe that sacrificing these people is what is necessary, we will be witness to it, but you must be your own executioner.
How about instead, this is your last meal.
That seems fair.
Die with your bellies full,
Yeah.
knowing that
I
the
like
tribe
that.
will survive.
I like that.
Yep.
It
I'll,
can be a kindness and a cruelty. I think that's as much as we can do for them.
So I'll turn back to the shaman and to the chieftain and say, a last meal for your sacrifices, but you must be your own executioner, and we are your witnesses.
So be it.
We will see the Frostmaiden's will done, but you must do it yourself.
He nods, and I'm not going to make this like an insight check. I think that you see in his eyes that like this isn't fun for him. Like he's not enjoying this, but nonetheless you see conviction in his eyes that he does not see this as a pleasant task, but nonetheless a necessary one. is what he thinks. And so if he needs to do it, then he will.
And so I will then go to the prisoners and say, we cannot stop what is about to happen, but we will provide you what comfort we can in the hours to come.
They seem kind of numb. Like they're sort of grateful, but they're maybe a little bit resigned to this. Like they're glad to eat, but like they also are basically just been told that like, yep, here's your last meal. This is going to happen. So like they're not.
And Mara will just sit with them. If they choose to talk, she'll listen. If they don't choose to talk, she'll just be with them.
Yeah. So here's where I'm going to offer to all of you as players that we can kind of draw a veil
Yes,
on the rest
Yeah,
of
I
this.
think so.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and just say the prisoners have their last meal, and then the task is carried out, and you are all you find yourself returned to the fortress.
And I think after that, Mara breaks down and cries.
Yeah. Iggy does too.
Mara and Iggy are just holding each other. That was terrible. I did not like it at all.
I hated it just as much.
Yeah, so everyone
That was
appears
awful.
in that in the little alcove there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely cruelty.
And yeah, so Valine is basically keeping quiet because she is, I think, rightly senses that, you know, essentially she you know,
She backed
she
the
believes the
logical
right
play.
thing was done. So it was, yeah.
She backs the logical play, although she knows that the party itself was not really backing that play.
Well, it's a reflection that she believes the right decision was made, but understands that it was a very difficult one for all of you, and so she's not going to prod. All right, so everyone kind of files out of that wing, and
Rick, I am going to join you when you get drunk after we get off of this godforsaken island.
so I think Akuma is kind of slightly more sedate when you emerge, and my first thought would be like when a dog has their chin on the floor, but because of his tusks, he's actually like propped up on the ends of his tusks, and he just he looks at you all and says, "You guys look sad.
Yeah.
That was a
We
sad
are
test.
very sad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry."
Give you a hug.
Okay.
We go and we hug Akuma.
We hugged the walrus.
He
Hi.
rolls over
Didn't
on
see
his
that
back, and
coming.
he's got his big old flippers
Join in.
and bring it in.
He's big enough, he can hug all of us.
He is a size of an
Yes.
elephant.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Rowan just kind of sits by the door we came out of.
All right, one to go. Hopefully this will not be as bad as the others.
I kind of hope it's straightforward. That would be nice.
None of these have been truly straightforward other than endurance.
Well, like,
Well, to be fair, cruelty was straightforward.
We just didn't like it.
Right. So, you move into the last of those four wings that you hadn't been in
Yep.
previously. You're just going to head on into that one.
Yeah,
Get it over with.
All right.
get it over with.
Yeah.
I still want to go see the tomb, but I think we need to get these tests done
Sure.
first.
Sure. All right. So, sorry, I grabbed the I was dragging the whole page instead of
Especially after that,
player
that
deck.
cruelty test, I want them done before we
Yeah.
do anything else.
All right, so you are once again, as you press through the label for that one. You were told that the fourth trial was preservation, so you knew that, but the label for that one was actually partly broken, and it just said Vation on it. But you knew that it was for preservation, and so once again, as you press through that doorway, your surroundings vanish in a flurry of snow and ice. When your vision clears, once again, you find yourself standing at the edge of a camp. Its tents holding fast against a raging blizzard. But as you are looking forward, although on the map these campfires show as lit, what you actually realize is that in this particular camp, other than the howling of the blizzard, there is no sound. All of the fires are out.
That's creepy.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, so, all the fires are out. The only sound you hear is the flapping of the tents as the wind hits them. As you move in a little closer examination reveals dozens of corpses half buried in snowdrifts. It becomes clear that a massacre took place here recently. You hear the squawking of buzzards coming from the middle of the camp and see a half dozen giant vultures pecking at two bodies outside of one of the larger tents.
Rowan takes out his bow.
All right.
Wilfred has his warhammer out, shield up.
All right. Let's go ahead and roll. Well, go ahead and whoever would make that first attack, if you want to, you can do that, and then we'll start initiative.
I'll go and do that.
Wilfred is awesome.
All right.
Worthless.
Well, I think if you're going in for melee, and you're not like stealthing in, then we're just gonna just straight up roll initiative.
I was gonna say, do I have time to be stealthy?
Well, I mean, you guys tell me if that's what you're doing.
This the camp that the other tribe raided. I wonder.
Oh, that's a thought.
I don't
That would
think
bring
so.
it all
Too many
together.
there are too many dead, I think, for one. For those few, but I wonder. This is a lot.
There's a lot of people out here.
Yeah.
This is not tribe versus tribe warfare. This is slaughter. This is
Yeah. And it's clear as you kind of look around that these are not all warriors that are dead. It's everybody that was at this camp.
Right.
I whisper.
Yep.
I whisper to Mara, I need your eyes.
Oh, and can you?
I grant
see-
him Eyes of Night,
Okay.
and
Boopity.
Ale is right there. Grant him Eyes of Night.
Oh, I like gets Knights of Night for a change.
All
Yeah.
right. So on the map,
everybody
can
else
everybody
is too far
see?
away. So
On the map, can everybody see, or is it like I
Yeah.
want to?
Oh no,
Yeah.
no! I was simply saying that because if there's no light and
Yeah,
it's dark
no.
outside, I cannot see.
I was just making sure that because, like with some of these, I had
Yeah, the dynamic lighting.
yeah.
yeah. So Eyes of Night on Rowan and Ale, and I will also give Rowan the advantage on initiative order.
Okay.
That's
So
useful.
everyone roll initiative if you haven't already.
Okay, let's do this thing.
And we'll still start out with Wilfred, just basically charging up with his hammer.
These squares are 10 feet?
Well, the big ones, but like the grid on the map still has 5-foot squares,
Yeah,
but
it's still
the big squares are 10 feet.
Oh, okay.
Right. So your
Yeah, now I
token
see
still
they're-
fits in a
they're kind
5-foot
of-
square, but the
Yeah.
big drawn lines are 10 feet.
10 okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Right. We're still waiting on Maraz.
Mine's already in there. I got 20.
Oh, did you put in the? It did. Did you put it in the thingy?
It was there originally, but I
Okay.
just put it in manually, so
All right.
it's all good.
Yay!
It's
Okay.
fixed.
All right. So, Wilfred, go ahead and make one attack, and then we'll go into initiative.
I don't think an 11 will hit.
Well, the giant vultures have an armor class of 10.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
6 damage.
Okay. So, that certainly starts things going, because these vultures that were just enjoying a convenient meal suddenly are having to fight for it. And so lots of things start to happen at once. But Mara, you are up first with initiative.
Oh, well, I will move forward 30 feet, and then I will cast I am one trick pony, Secret Flame,
right.
at the one that is closest to me. Make a
Okay.
dexterity save, please.
All right.
It may be a weird trick, but it's a good trick.
It
Yeah.
is a great trick. I can
All right.
make them on fire.
Well, it rolled a 17 though, so
Well, I tried to set it on fire. It did
you
not
know,
work.
it was a good try.
I blame it on the exhaustion.
Sure. Okay. Next up is Rowan.
First off, bonus action, cast Zephyr Strike.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's see. And let's see. The first two are still up. Which one's been hurt?
The
Wilfred's
top
by
left
that
one, the one that Wilfred's by.
Then I'll save that. So then I'm going to take two separate shots. I'm going to take a shot at the one behind one behind Wilfred's, and the one to the right. Well, my left.
So the two that are closest.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they'll probably. I think they'll run anyway because if we that's what happened last time. They tried to run. And these would definitely be sharpshooter shots.
Yeah.
Here we go. First shot. 19.
19 definitely hits.
So that is.
And the first one has been hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna shoot. I'm shooting at the two behind the other two, while not the one Wolford's directly in front of. So neither of
okay.
Yeah, neither of those will get Colossus Slayer. But
Okay. Okay. So I thought you were firing at the two that were closest to you.
no, I meant I was going to, but since there's multiples and Wolford is right in the face of that one.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna
no,
try-
that's fine. You just didn't tell me you were changing. That's okay. It's fine.
No, it's
Whichever
my
ones
bad.
you want.
Yeah, so that's a D8 plus 2 for the first M10. So that's 15 points for that first one.
And so these are like the middle two.
Yes.
All right.
And then another shot.
Yeah.
For the
15 hurts that one pretty bad, but it's not down.
And a 4 doesn't hit.
4
that.
is not going to hit. Okay. Wilfred, your turn now.
Okay. Well, gonna swing twice. 22
That'll hit for sure.
for 9 damage.
Okay, that one's pretty hurt now.
Well, might as well go and swing again.
Mm-hmm.
For a 16.
Okay, 16 hits.
5 damage.
All right, it is very, very wounded, but not completely dead yet.
I'm gonna go ahead and use Action Surge, because
Okay.
why not?
Sure.
$11.
11 hits.
4 on the die.
Yeah.
For 9.
Okay, you kill that one.
And since I haven't used any move this turn, I'm going to go over this one
Okay.
and swing at it.
So that's not the one that is already injured from Rowan's arrow, just in
No.
case.
No.
Okay. All right.
A natural 1.
Okay. Well, that's gonna miss. Okay.
Even Wilford the Great can't hit with that.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the one that's right there by you, Wilfred, is going to attack you with its beak and talons. That's
Okay.
a 10 to hit for the beak, and then a 23 to hit with the talons.
That one does actually hit.
Yeah. For 7 slashing damage as it sort of flaps its enormous wings to get itself up high enough to claw at you with its talons.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the meantime, this other one is also going to swoop in and attack you as well. Beak, 17 to hit. I don't
Nope.
think that's right. Then 19 with talons.
No.
Okay. So these others are flying up and around, and this one I think is going to circle around and come in and attack Arvik.
And
6 with the beak and 15 with the talons.
15 hits.
Okay. That's going to be for 10 slashing damage.
Okay. I will use my where is it? Stone's Endurance and reduce it by a d12 plus 2.
Okay. And then this one is going to come in at Mara. For
Oh, reduced it by 3, so I take
Okay.
7 damage.
all right. So
It
Mara,
hurts.
that's a 21 with its beak,
It hurts a lot.
and then a 22 with its talons. So that's 7 piercing from the beak, and 10 slashing from the talons.
So 17 total.
Yeah.
One sec.
Okay.
I will use shield for the first one with my guardian shield,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and then for the second one, I will then.
Remind me exactly how that works, because does it block the attack, or is it
It just raises her AC by.
does by 5? Does
Yes.
what is your AC, Mara?
15.
15. Then 21 still hits then.
Okay,
Yeah.
so was the first one the 21 then?
Yeah, there was a 21 and a 22.
Oh.
Yeah, so neither of them would.
Yeah.
So I can't stop but one. So that means I will
Well,
use
you can't-
Vigilant Guardian,
Yeah,
which
okay.
means I put my hand on Mara's side and I say, Savagery be undone. And I swap places with her and I
Ah.
take the hit.
Okay.
That is
wait.
really wicked when you do that.
Are you taking the 10 or the 7, or are you taking both?
It literally moves me. If it physically puts me in your place for a second, so I can only take the one.
Okay, which one are you taking?
I'll take the 10.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
it's a feature of my race, of the marked.
Yeah, so you sort of magically interpose yourself in a way to take the blow
Yeah.
for her. All right, great. Well, guess what? You also get attacked by the last one as it swoops in to attack you with its beak and talons. 12 for the beak.
Oh,
21.
before that happens,
Okay.
I forgot that because it attacked me with melee,
Yeah.
it takes 2d6 damage
Is this-
from my bracers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll
Because
that.
I forgot about that.
Okay.
Oopsie.
Yeah.
So it takes 5 damage.
All right.
5 is 5.
Yeah.
It's something.
And does the next one that came in, you said attacks me or does it attack Mara?
No, it attacks you, Rowan. So the first attack was a 12 for the beak, and then a 21 with the talons.
It hits with the talons.
So that's 7 slashing damage. And that's all the vultures. Iggy.
Well, crap.
Yeah, things got
Moved.
messy.
They moved.
Iggy is put out.
Okay, well, I will try and fry the one that attacked Marcher. Or
Okay.
Arvik. The one true.
Mhm.
Alright, so Eldritch Blast, the one that attacked Arvik.
Okay.
For 15.
Definitely hits.
And 8
Mm-hmm.
force damage, and
Alright.
it's pushed 10 feet.
Yep. I'm going to push it slightly diagonally just to avoid having them overlap.
Okay. And then I will do the second on the one that attacked Rowan
Okay.
for 10.
10 does hit.
And it's a grand total of 5.
All
And
right.
pushed 10 feet.
Yep. Cool.
Damn it.
Okay. Ale.
Okay, well, I thought I was going to have to throw javelins, but they all came up to us, so
Mhm.
I can just wade in.
Yeah.
Now that since Iggy pushed these two, I'm going to go help Mara. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 here, and I'm going to swing with my sword at Mr. Vulture.
All right.
That goes there. Let's try it again.
21 will
There we
hit.
go. 21 will hit. Oh, it's not doing that extra damage. It's not doing that damage thing now. Interesting.
Well, I mean, you click. There you go.
6 slashing damage.
Mhm.
And I will try hitting it again.
That one is bloodied. 17 does hit. Yeah.
5 slashing damage.
All right. We've got several of these injured. Okay. Is
That's
that
me.
your turn?
That's my turn.
Great. Arvik.
I'm going to cast Storm Sphere,
Woo.
overlapping the two that are
Menacing Wilfred there.
menacing. And I'm going to spend some sorcery points to make it empowered, so I can re-roll up to 3 of the dice.
Okay.
So they have to make strength saving throws, DC 14.
Okay. That's a 6 for the first one and a 16 for the second one.
Okay, then they each take 2d6 bludgeoning damage.
Well, one got a 6 and one got a 16.
Oh, yeah, one. Okay. Only the one that fails takes the damage.
Right. Okay.
And I'm going to use 2 of my rerolls on that because I rolled like crap.
All right.
That's 7 points of damage.
Okay, that's actually just exactly what you needed to kill that one.
And as a bonus action, the storm cloud, that 20-foot diameter storm cloud, sends a bolt of lightning at the other of the 2.
Okay.
And since it's within the cloud, I get advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 23 to hit,
That'll definitely hit.
and that does 4d6 lightning damage.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So that's 7 and 12, and I'll re-roll that one. 15 total.
Nice. All right. That one
And that's
is
all my rerolls.
now pretty hurt. It went from nothing, so now they've all been hurt a little bit. 2 of them dead, and all of the others at least injured.
And if they enter or end their turn in the sphere, they have to make another save.
Right. Okay. So,
And
great.
I say to Iggy, try and push them into that sphere.
All right. So it is Valine's turn. I think she's going to Chill Touch probably makes the most sense for her still. So yeah, she's going to cast Chill Touch. And she gets a 16 on the one that's closest to her. Actually, no, I take it back. She's going to cast it on the one that's attacking Mara because it's the one that's like, the others had just gotten pushed away from their target before. Okay, so That 16 will hit, and it does 11 necrotic damage and kills that one. So, Mara, you see the one that had been attacking you just suddenly, the weird fleshy bits of its head just kind of start going pale, and it sort of starts twitching and flopping and then sort of just shrivels up and dies on the ground.
Okay. But I didn't do it, so it doesn't matter.
All right,
So then what I will do, and by the way, we do have a little bit of an audience here, which is great.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. So let's see here. So where is my character?
Right
Standing
here.
next to Alec.
Oh, I think Rowan's on top of my character. That's why.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, he wasn't.
I moved my character 5 feet so
Okay.
that I could see where I was.
Okay.
Okay. So I can't really push them. I don't have any abilities that would do that. But the one that is closest to the circle, I will cast. What can I cast for that? Let's see. I guess I will cast Spirit Guardians on myself.
Okay.
And so there is what is it?
It's
So all of my comets show up
and
as I
that's
grab my
the
holy
15-foot
symbol.
radius. Is that right?
I'm sorry?
15-foot radius.
Yes.
Okay. Zoop. All right. Great.
And yeah, okay, so it gets both of them. So at the start of their turn, they will take damage.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Rowan, your turn.
Righty. Let's see. So the rest have been hurt. And Wolford is facing two of them in great exuberance. So, before my spell ends, I will give myself advantage on this first shot, which will be on the not the one inside of Arvik's sphere, but the one in the middle.
Okay.
That will be another sharpshooter. 16,
16 definitely hits.
and they have been hurt, so that is 1d8 plus 2. That's 4 points, and then another d8.
So but it's
So it's 19 points.
yeah, you kill that one.
And then let's see. I will move it. Then I'll take my second shot at the one above the hut.
Okay.
Don't have advantage on this one, though. So here's 14.
All right, 14 hits.
All right, plus 2. 6 points plus Colossus Slayer. That's 5. That's 11. So 21 points.
Yeah, you killed that one too.
And then,
Boom.
and then before my turn ends, because this increases my movement by 30 feet. So I stay on the edge of the circle, but don't go into it. Because I see something in that hut that's not dead.
You wouldn't see it yet because it's under
Oh.
cover. So you see something
it's
on the
underground?
map that we will address later. You
Okay.
wouldn't see it from outside.
Oh, okay. Fine.
So no, I
Well,
mean,
it's
yeah,
no
that's okay. We'll say you had a sixth sense that there's something to pay attention to over there, but you're still not sure what it is.
Right.
Okay, so that's your turn, Wilfred. Question, Nobilis. The storm sphere, or Arvik, I guess. Is it lightly obscured inside? Is there a disadvantage from?
Disadvantage on anyone within 30 feet of the sphere have disadvantage on listening, but it does not obscure vision.
Okay, great. So yeah, no
The sphere
disadvantage.
of whirling air.
Okay. All right.
No.
So.
Whee! For 21.
All right. Yeah, that'll hit.
8 damage.
You kill it.
Okay. Look around. Anything else?
And I'll let the storm sphere drop.
Okay.
I will
So.
let Spirit Guardians drop.
Okay. So as you are all kind of catching your breath and just realizing, okay, I think we got all of the vultures. Is everything else okay? Where are we at? You realize that you hear over the howling of the blizzard winds the sound of what you suspect is a child crying. And we're going to leave that as a temporary, very brief cliffhanger because I need a quick bio break, so we'll be right back. The stream is going to keep going. You guys, whoever, we'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll be.
Air break is a good idea.
Yep.
After these messages, listeners and watchers, we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I was just thinking. I was like, what was
Great
that?
minds or terrible minds? I'm not sure which.
I was like, what was that from? I was like,
I think that was Nickelodeon.
because I was like, I know this.
Yeah, it was Nick Jr. Because when my cousins were little and they would watch it, that was the thing.
See, for me, it was Face. It was Face.
Yeah,
I don't know if Face is still around. Is Face still a thing?
I don't think so.
I remember Stickly too.
Hmm.
God.
How are you feeling after that fight?
It's fine. I really, again, because I play way on D&D Beyond, way too much. I'm always tinkering around with random characters, but I really like the marked characters. I think
This is the first time you've gotten to use that ability to
Second.
switch places with me.
All right.
So it's the second time I've used it. First time was actually for, I want to say either Ale or Wilford.
Ale,
Yeah, and I
you
took
saved my life.
32 points of damage for him.
Oh, you know what? Since you did that, I should probably do a cure wounds on you just to make sure that you're in tippy-top shape.
And then the second time was for you. The only time I've actually got to use my the other spell, what's it? I think it's called Warding Bond. Yes. Which is from the Spell of a Marked spell list. That's
Oh,
the
hey,
one.
look at that! I got you 10 hit points.
Nice.
You're back to full.
Yeah.
But the Warding Bond is the really nifty one because it's the one that gives the target of the spell resistance to all damage types.
Yeah.
And then they split their damage with the person.
Yeah, when we were in the dungeon with the Duragar, you after my major meltdown, you put that on me.
Yeah, it's really nifty. But the only thing is, say if you take 6 damage, I also take 6 damage.
Yeah. But it's basically you split any damage that the target.
Right.
of the
So if
spell
I
would
took
take.
12, he would take 6, and I would take 6.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right. So okay, I think we've got everyone back except David. So we'll maybe give him just a moment. There we
he
go.
is.
Okay. So as the excitement of the buzzards calms down, you realize that you're hearing low sobs that sound like maybe a child's voice coming from inside one of the big tents. And so,
It was Rowan's mother's bow that led him here.
yeah, there you go. So as you approach and kind of peek inside the tent, you I don't have a handout, but let me just briefly expand the size of his token because there's a nice little bit of artwork for this kid. Just so you can see,
That's
he's a good-looking kid. But you see that there's this kid. He is in quite a state. He's clearly in shock, and he is not running from you guys exactly, but he's not fit to speak right now. He is, basically just look around.
yeah.
Come to the conclusion.
So Mara will take out her water skin and just hold it out to him.
Okay, one quick thing to point out that you would notice. He is hiding inside one of the tents here, but it's also the middle of a blizzard, and you look, this kid is wearing nothing but kind of a light poncho sort of thing.
Oh,
And
scratch that. Mara takes off her cloak and puts it on the kid.
Okay. But what I was going to say, though, is he actually looked like he was not that bothered by the cold,
Oh,
which is why I mention it.
Okay.
So you can still do the cloak thing. That's fine. He doesn't resist you or anything.
Oh.
But I think you all would notice that despite being, to your eyes, very underdressed for the weather, he didn't seem to be bothered by that. He's not shivering. And he doesn't.
is his eyes blue and his skin weird?
Well, make a perception check.
Not
Mara
much
doesn't
fun.
care. Mara's taking care of a child.
Yeah, I'll make that with you.
An 18.
Okay.
24.
Yeah. His eyes are blue, but it's kind of a vibrant blue, but it's not. It doesn't really feel kind of supernaturally blue the way
Like a
might-
certain serial killer?
Right now, I would say it's not quite like that, but there is maybe something a little uncanny.
Is it like my color blue?
Oh.
Rowan speaks up. What happened here, young one?
He's in no state to talk right now. He is still
Okay.
just crying.
And I,
All right, Iggy
Alright.
will create will do create bonfire on this central bonfire
Okay.
thing right here to light it.
Sure.
Well, while Iggy's doing that, I'm going to look around at the other tents and the bodies and see if I can find some kind of clue as to what's going on.
Sure.
I have a terrible check for it, but I can't do
Well,
anything else.
actually, I think Valine will join you in that.
Okay.
So
I will
you can
assist
roll.
Pauline and she can roll the investigation.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's fine. I was going to say you roll it with advantage, but I think that maybe makes sense. She actually doesn't have it trained. She's not proficient, but she's got a
but
high
she's
base
got a better
score.
intelligence on it.
Yeah, so she's going to roll. Oh, well, even with advantage, she only got an 11. There's some low rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would say it's clear that there was a big fight here, right? Like all of these people who are dead were clearly like they didn't just die of sickness or something. They didn't just drop dead. They've been injured in some sort of a battle, but clearly one in which they were very outmatched. And I would say that I'll just go ahead and tell you that you recognize, partly by process of elimination, given that you have met the tiger, elk, and bear clans so far in these trials, that this is a wolf tribe camp. But it would seem that somehow everyone here in this camp has been killed violently, except for this kid, who seems very upset. Which, I mean,
Yeah.
I think Wilfred will go in. I think we need better shelter than these huts. And here, bring the kid out and and he'll start the ritual for Tiny hut.
Okay. So as as you're kind of encouraging him to come out, like his first instinct is to not want to leave this hut, which you gather just looking at it that you suspect is probably the chief's hut. So I'm going to need a persuasion check to try to get him to leave it because he doesn't seem to want to.
Do you want me to try to do it? Since I'm putting the cloak on him and trying to talk to him.
I mean, if you guys are helping, we can have someone roll with advantage, but it seems like right now he does not want to leave the hut.
Yeah, I'll try to help since I'm over there. So she'll have
Okay.
advantage.
So I will roll with advantage then.
Oh my god! You rolled 2 natural ones!
Oof.
So, yeah, I think
I'm not surprised. I am
Yeah.
terrifying, so it's fine. It's
So,
fine.
yeah, I think
I'm a death elf. It's fine.
So the way that I want to spin this is that he was starting to kind of relax a little bit in the sense that you are like soothing, your presence is soothing, but the instant he figures out that you're trying to encourage him to leave the tent, he just goes pale and is like, no, that is the last thing he wants to do right now. And he retreats away from you to go deeper into the tent. And he is looking around with wide eyes. And then all of a sudden, all of you hear from outside the camp, "Ow!" But let me clarify. You guys have heard wolf howls before.
Mm-hmm.
This is a guy howling like a wolf.
Okay. I think we know what's happening here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think the vultures were what we're trying to fight. I think the real threat is coming.
Yeah. Wolfred's going to go ahead and abandon the tiny hut casting and just
Okay.
get ready to fight again.
Yeah.
So as soon as he
What
hears
Mara
that,
will do then, since he's abandoning it, is in the hut itself create as an action Lemon's tiny hut to protect the child.
tiny hut, even
It's a minute.
like
It's
it
a minute, but still.
Okay, I mean you can start that. I'm just saying
Yeah.
you can't just do it instantly.
Also keep in mind that if you cast it, you can't leave it.
Right, but I can stick my hand outside of it.
Okay.
Just like we did in
About the dragon.
Brittander.
Yep. I'm going to cast False Life
Okay.
at 3rd level. 17 temporary hit points.
Okay. So as soon as he hears that, like that howl, the kid buries himself under furs and blankets and stuff in the hut again. And as you're starting to get, you're just instinctively saying, yeah, okay, this seems like, okay, this is what's going on. You hear from that same direction, a little bit different direction, like whoever it is circling the camp. You hear calling out over the winds of the blizzard and say, "Oh, Eric's. I am so sorry that my men couldn't do the job thoroughly in the first place. So, why don't you just come on out and I'll take you to your parents."
Mara's watching the pile from her peripheral vision, but not actually, not directly looking at the kid.
And I think you don't need an insight check to realize that,
He's lying.
well, he's not even really trying to be persuasive.
To be fair, he could be telling the truth. He does
Well-
definitely want to take him to his parents.
Yeah,
Yes,
you get the impression that it might be a little bit more like send you to be where your parents are,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is not a good thing.
Okay, Iggy
No.
is going to start sneaking around the back
Okay?
to see if
Yeah.
they can get line of sight on this guy.
Okay.
And hold on, how?
Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and just roll initiative.
Oh yay! From right here, I have line of sight, and he's in range.
Well, okay, give me, how about we just roll initiative, like I
That's
said?
awesome.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, he rolled pretty low, so that's not great for him. But yeah. All right.
Let me.
So everyone re-roll your initiative.
Yep.
Mine's in.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
One more time. There we go.
All right.
That's a 22. Let's see if I can get a track. Nice.
And
Bear
Rowan
in mind-
Ale, you still have Eyes of Night, so you can see pretty far.
Yeah. Also,
Oh,
remember that there's a blizzard going right now, and so technically your vision is reduced. Like you can't see as far. It's not just about being dark. It's blowing snow. So like perception checks that rely on vision would be at disadvantage. But that's just a flavor mostly here. So everyone got their new initiative? Yes? Yeah? All right. Okay, so, Rowan, you are first, but you don't have eyes on this guy yet.
Then I will.
You know what? Let me give us some battle music now.
Oh, can't do that. Shucks. Then I'll just hold my attack until I can see him.
Okay, you're just going to stay where you are and hold your attack?
Now, with a perception, would I be able to see him? Or if I roll high enough?
you don't have line of sight.
Oh, okay. So yeah, then I'll just hold my action until I see the gentleman that thinks he's a wolf.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think you wouldn't be able to see him from where you are. Not where he is right now. But you can hold your attack in case he comes within visible range. Actually, go ahead and make a perception check to stand in for what he would be trying to beat if he was going to stealth in, for example. So that would be at disadvantage, though, because it's, the blowing snow and... Yeah, all right, that's still pretty good.
20.
All right, great. Okay, Iggy, you had just come around the corner of one of these tents, and you see a figure in the blowing snow.
Okay. I'm going to use my movement to get just a little bit closer to make sure I can see him. And then I'm going to cast Sickening Radiance.
Okay.
That's
That
different.
is my brand new spell that I was going to use on the vultures, but this is even better because it is cathartic.
Well, you guys ended up going a little overkill on the vultures, frankly, so.
Yeah. A dim greenish light spreads within a 30-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range.
Okay.
The light spreads around corners and it lasts until the spell ends, which is 10 minutes.
Okay.
The creature moves into the spell area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there. The creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 4d10 radiant damage, suffer 1 level of exhaustion, and emit a dim greenish light in a 5-foot radius.
Wow!
The light makes it impossible for the creature to benefit from being invisible. The light and any levels of exhaustion caused by the spell go away when the spell ends.
Okay.
Did you mean this for the Duragar?
Okay,
No, I
but-
meant this.
But where are you casting it?
Okay,
Okay.
Let me see if I can draw this sucker. Draw shape.
Hold Alt to make a
for
circle.
Circle. So it is a. Oh no, that's alternate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then let's.
You're not going to put it on top of him.
I am going to put it, but I wanted to move. I wanted to.
Oh, you draw it first and then move it. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's centered a little bit ahead of him, so he's just inside.
Okay.
Go ahead and snap that.
All
And
right.
so he's just inside. So to go forward, he has to stay in it.
Right. Okay. He's going to start his turn there when it's his turn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that is going to be Iggy's turn.
Does that and that's an illuminated circle, Iggy?
Yeah, I would imagine that there's a big sort of greenish orb highlighting the blowing snow over there.
Whew.
And and it's kind of like a sickly sort of alien green. Yeah, that's cool. All right, Ale,
Yep. Well, now I see this sickly green thing, and
that you've never seen before, coming from the direction you heard the sound. It's obviously
trouble.
Yeah.
So Ollie has to go run towards the trouble. So,
No.
Yeah.
what?
We're protecting the
Can
kid.
Yeah, but he sees the trouble too. Ollie's also, remember, not the brightest bulb in the tree. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah,
So he,
Run.
so he dashes to here.
He's not the smartest knife in the box.
all right.
No,
On my next turn, I'll warn you guys not to get into the sphere.
Yeah,
will I be even able to hear you? That's a good question with the blowing
you're
snow.
not that far away. I think. Yeah, if you would have to be yelling, but I think if you're yelling, then you would. But then, of course, if you're risk that the enemy hears you too. All right.
Also, LA has not played base defense games because I'm players expecting other attackers to come from other directions, but LA doesn't know that.
All right. Okay. Wilfred.
Okay, well, enemy weird glowy thing. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What?
Charge. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. Arvik.
I am going to stay where I am, keep my eye out for targets, and ready a ray of frost if I see anything that looks threatening.
Great. Okay. It is Valine's turn. Let's see, what would she do? What's she got available to her? Yeah, so I think yeah, she's gonna prepare a chill touch if she's gonna move in a little closer to where the people are kind of holding out. And also prepare an attack in case she sees someone. Mara.
I think I'm still casting the hut.
Okay. I mean, that's going to be 10
takes
rounds.
a minute to cast,
Yeah.
and I don't think we've had that long.
No.
So
No.
I basically I just look at everyone and say, just keep them off me for a minute.
Okay. That would be his turn now. So it's his turn. He's going to make the Constitution saving throw against Sickening Radiance. Okay. So he rolls a dirty 20.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think if I read this spell right, there's nothing happens on a successful save.
That's
It doesn't
right.
take half.
Oh, boo.
Yeah. But so I think he is not going to just run through the center of this. He's going to kind of run sideways. 4, 5, 6. And as he is kind of looking around and say, well, Eric's, it seems like either you've learned some new tricks or made some new friends. He, is like, well, you know what? I'll have some fun with them too. And I think he's dashing in this direction. And he kind of, he's going to take cover behind this pile of lumber there. So he's got half cover right there. Okay. That is his turn for this round. Rowan.
Alrighty, so let's see here. Man, that's good. So far away. Might as well. I will cast Zephyr Strike once again.
Okay.
And then move 5 feet. 5 feet, yes, that's 30. And then I will give myself advantage on my next attacks, which means it also increases my movement by 30. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Does he have full cover behind that, or is it just like a...
Well, see, where you are right now, there's actually a hut in between you also.
Okay.
But if you had, well, you already moved pretty far.
Yeah, that's because it's
yeah.
just because of Zephyr Strike.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I don't think you have enough movement to have just curved your trajectory enough. So I think, unfortunately, he's still got total cover from you right now.
That's fine. Then that'll be it. Then I'll sacrifice my shot on that.
All right.
No, I don't have any shots that I can throw.
Well, but if you're not attacking, do you still have your dash? You could.
It's whether. Yeah, I do have my dash.
Yeah, because if you're not using your attack, then you can still dash if you want. Or you could hold it again.
Yeah, I'll hold it instead.
All right. Okay. Iggy.
Well, crap.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Your cool new thing. Yeah, we'll have to.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. No, seriously, that's completely fine.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, at least Rowan ran up to you like the wind.
2. Hold on. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And I'm going to keep that there, and I'm going to Eldritch Blast this guy twice.
Okay. He does have half cover, so you'll be shooting against an AC 2+2 to normal. But go ahead.
Okay, so 20
A 20 does hit.
for, let's see, 4 points of damage and push him back 10 feet.
All right.
And then a 19
A 19 also hits.
for 6 points of damage and another 10 feet.
All right.
And say, I'll yell out, "Don't go into the light!" Literally. and this jerk is behind the wood pile over here.
All right. So that is Iggy's turn. Ale.
All right. Well, he's behind the wood pile. I'm going to go after him.
Mm-hmm.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That, and then we'll dash to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, because I'm going to listen to Iggy and not run through the circle to try to get at him. That's my turn.
All right. Okay, Wilfred.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For a dash, and that's it.
Okay. Arvik.
That's what I should have done.
I'm still suspicious that this is drawing off our strength, so I'm still gonna continue holding that ray of frost against something sneaking up us from behind.
Sure. Are you actually like looking down to the south, or are you...
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna move over here so I have a better point of view towards the south and east.
Okay.
And I'll actually say, Velin, get on the other side there just so you can see off to the west.
Okay. Well, it's her turn now, so she will do that. She's actually going to stay, I think, right up here just so that she still kind of has, eyes down through there, but also into the tent. All right. Mara.
how close am I to finishing the
I mean, a while. It's 10 rounds.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're 2 rounds in out of 10.
Okay.
All right.
That's it. Nobody needs my healing yet, right?
Nope.
Right.
Hopefully we can kill this guy before that is required.
Good.
All right. Yeah, so it is this guy's turn again, and he is, let's see, 10, 20. Oh, look at that. He can just get up to where you are, Ale, with his movement. And as he is charging up, he is looking at you with a sort of teeth-bared sort of smile, and he's kind of just saying, you know, if you just sent out the kid, I'd leave the rest of you alone, but you're not going to do that, are you? But so let's go ahead and get this done. And so he draws a sickle, and he's going to make 3 melee attacks against you. It's an 18, a 22, and a 14.
The 22 hits, the other 2 miss.
All right. Okay. So it does 5. Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me see what this.
Now we see if Ali really made a mistake here.
Okay. Well, not as bad as it might have been. So 5 piercing damage plus. In this case, I'm not going to tell you exactly why, but an additional 4. So 9 total piercing damage from that sickle attack.
Oh, it's not going to tell me why. Great.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. Well, just because you wouldn't necessarily understand tactically what is happening yet. And,
yeah.
you'll maybe get there, but not yet. All right. So that's his turn, and he's just looking at you like, you know, this is, you know, he is extremely happy to be doing this. Okay. Rowan, your turn.
Righty. Then I will move here. 30. And bang.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello there, good sir.
There you are.
As a bonus action, because I will let Zephyr Strike fall off since I use, because I can't do the advantage thing again, I will cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
And I will take 2 shots at this fellow, but not charged shots. 23.
Okay. 23 will hit.
And for the second one, 14.
14 will miss.
Righty. So that's 1 hit. And so that's 8 plus 2. Oh, no, sorry, that's 8 points of piercing, and then a d6 for Hunter's Mark.
Well, and your Colossus Slayer, right? So.
No, he hasn't been hurt yet.
Yeah,
Has
it
he?
is. Iggy hit him with Eldritch Blast.
Oh, so then it's actually 12 points with the Colossus Slayer added on, plus the d6 for Hunter's Mark.
Yep. So what's that?
That's 5 points, so it'll be 17 total.
Nice. That's pretty good. All right. Phew. You hit him, and
Indeed.
he still got kind of a mean grin on his face, but you definitely hurt him. All right, Iggy.
Okay. To push or not to push? That is the question. I'm just gonna let this thing go. Because there's no way. Well, it is giving off a whole lot of light, which is an advantage for us. So I'm going to move over here a little bit and fire another couple Eldritch Blasts
You
at
just
it.
moved off the map.
Oh, yeah.
Transcending the
I
boundaries
thought-
of the game.
I can see it.
Wall hack.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, on my screen it was cutting off part of the edge. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
So let me Eldritch Blast this guy now that I've got like full visibility on him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that is a 22
Yep.
for 12 damage.
All right. Yeah.
And 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And a 10, which isn't going to hit.
No. Alright. Alright. Okay. Ale.
All right. Well, let's go after this guy. So we're going to move to here. As a bonus action, I'm going to use a vow of enmity on him. I choose him as the creature I gain advantage on attack rolls against for 1 minute or until he drops 0 hit points or falls unconscious.
Sure, makes sense.
And then I'm going to try to strike him.
All right.
With advantage. So first is a 13. That's going to miss.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll try that again.
A 15 just hits. Just hits.
A 15 just hits. So used to show that little damage thingy, but that's okay.
Well, you have to click the... Yeah, see, there it goes.
Yeah, but it used to show the little box saying click for damage, but stopped doing that for some
Well,
reason.
you don't need to tell you to click for damage if you know to click for damage, right?
It's an update that you just click the big thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, 6 slashing damage.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Does Valve Enmity does extra damage, or is that?
It just gives me advantage on attack rolls. No. Next turn is when I start putting Hunter's Mark and stuff on. I'm telling them.
All right, Wilfred.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You can't get the wood pile is difficult terrain.
Oh, I went around Ale, around the outside of Ale.
Is that 6? Oh, well, okay, fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Diagonals.
Yeah.
Okay, that was 12, which doesn't hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a 19, which
19 will
does,
hit.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For 9 damage.
Okay. Okay. Arvik.
More of the same. Just
All right, yep.
watching out.
Okay. Yep. Same plan for Valine and for Mara as well, then? All right. So, it's his turn again. And this time, I think he's still looking at you, Ale, and he's looking at the spot where you're bleeding a little bit from his last attack. And he just... and he goes after you with the sickle again, and he's rolling with advantage this time.
Oh, great.
It's an 18, a 25, and a 24.
The 18 will miss. The other 2 will hit.
Okay. Now this time you are... Well, so let's see. 7 piercing damage, and then 7 piercing damage from those 2 attacks. But you kind of feel like somehow the fact that Wilfred is there, kind of drawing some of his attention, is making it, his attacks aren't quite as strong as they would have been. All right. So that is, but that's his turn, and he glances up at the little snowflake above your head, and just says, "If I'm to die a worthy death, this will be one."
Witness me.
Yeah.
Shiny and chrome?
All right, Rowan.
I am going to.
He would have half cover again, but that doesn't matter for you.
Yeah, I'm going to put away the bow and take out my laser rifle.
Okay.
The gun is good.
Because
I'm switching.
I don't like. Yeah, I was gonna say because Ale looks a little bloodied, but he doesn't look that damaged, and I don't like that. That's weird.
Yeah, I got a bad feeling about this.
So yeah, we're gonna take 2 shots at him with the laser pistol, but no sharpshooters, or not pistol, rifle. Let's see here. 26
That'll hit, yeah.
and a 24.
Those will both hit.
Aren't you guys so glad that we killed all those mind flayers?
Oh, yeah.
This has probably saved the campaign.
Yeah, but I luckily I've got I still have the 3 disassembled, and I learned how to take the ammo out.
Yeah.
So yeah, so damage for the first shot.
Uh-huh.
So that's 13 points.
All right.
That's a D6 for Hunter's Mark. So that'll be
Okay.
16 points.
Go ahead and do all the damage, please.
Sorry, I have to do them separate.
I know that's fine, but I'm just saying that when we kind of do each one, you can just go ahead and do them all, and then we add them together. All right.
Ignore that Colossus
All right.
because it automatically does it.
Right, so it's 16 plus 9, so 25.
And
did already.
so it'll be a total of 31. Because
You
Colossus
don't
Lair,
get
not Colossus Lair, Hunter's
get-
Mark is on every hit.
Is it? Is that
Yeah.
right? Are you sure?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I think I did actually some of that damage. You know, yeah, I did do the 13 already. Okay, so the 13 I did, and then be another 12, 15. Wait. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this guy's looking pretty hurt.
Yeah, it says you choose a creature you see within range.
Yeah, okay, it's fine. Yeah, let's move on. Okay, Iggy.
All right. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 up here, and again hit him with a couple Eldritch Blasts.
Okay.
Try and it's not likely to happen, but I'm going to try and push him back into the sphere. That won't hit for an 11. And that's a 13. That won't hit.
That will also miss.
Yep.
All right, Ale.
All right, let's try. Okay, first thing I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to try to whack him. Say longsword attack number 1 is an 18.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's 12 slashing damage plus the Hunter's Mark, which I roll. Another 4. So that's a total of 16 for that attack. Let's attack again, see if we can hit him again. Wouldn't be nice. That's a 15, so that just hits.
Yep.
So that's 6 slashing damage. And another 3 from the Hunter's Mark for a total of 9.
Yeah, this guy's pretty hurt. He's almost down.
That's good. So
Wilfred.
so yeah, that's my
Okay.
turn.
Yeah, Wilfred.
Okay. Swing. For 23.
Yeah.
Alright, 11 damage.
All right. Yeah. How do you finish him off?
Alright, just hit, and just a solid hit to his back.
Okay.
Wish.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. He kind of crumples to the ground and sort of manages with just a last little burst of strength to kind of just roll over onto his back and look up at the snow and just say, I give my life to you. And then just dies. All right.
All right.
So everything
Stopped
kind of
him.
calms down again. No one else seems to be coming. The blizzard is still howling outside.
Well, let's if we're at initiative, I'm going to head back to where Mara is making the hut and everything else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Or is there anything on the guy? Is there anything on the guy worth having? I might take the sickle because the sickle looked interesting.
He also has a heavy crossbow. And other
Which I already
various like
have.
just furs and hide armor and stuff.
But I'll take the sickle.
Okay.
It may just be regular, but you know, it's a
Yeah.
trophy.
As far as you can tell, it doesn't seem to be magical, but
It certainly hurt me when it should have, but you know, that was his ability, not.
yeah.
when everybody gets back, Marcher says,
Iggy,
so they just sent one
Iggy,
guy?
before we leave the body, maybe you want to burn it?
Okay, I can
I,
come back up here and
we've dealing with lots of things that regenerate lately.
yeah. Why don't you push it a little bit more onto that wood pile, and I'll create bonfire, and we can toast marshmallows.
Okay, I will do that. I will push the body.
I mean, there's a
into the
lot of
fire.
other bodies here. This camp is full of bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, if we're sitting here for a while, eventually we can deal with those other bodies. But I'm a little concerned about this guy.
Sure. I mean, if you burn him, fine. Okay.
Especially because we're apparently not finished with this test.
That is true. We haven't gone back yet.
So something is missing.
Huh.
So
yeah.
I will turn to the child and say, was that the only threat that remained?
He looks up at you like, how should I know?
I don't know. So I'm still making the
Okay, yeah.
hut. I missed all the combat, but
So Valine kind of sidles up to Arvik and just... it does seem like one would not be enough for a party of adventurers. But he also seems like he was expecting to only find a child.
True, but this is some kind of trial. It seems maybe there are more coming.
And I think these trials, from judging from the walrus, have generally been for like one druid or a few people, not a whole team of adventurers. We may, but still, I think there's something missing.
Yeah, and I don't think it would count as persevering over one mad-seeming tribesman.
True.
And look at all the people. There's
Valine
no way
says
that-
the trial was not perseverance, it's preservation. She looks at, nods to the kid.
Oh.
Save the child. Oh.
Huh.
there are probably more of them coming.
That's what I suspect.
Well, we can keep. Dome's a good idea. Keep the kid in. Nothing can. Hopefully, nothing will be able to go through.
And yeah, if we get in close and inside the hut, nothing can surprise us. I pat my mom's bow.
Hey,
Hey, Ale, are you okay?
I'm injured, but I haven't felt anything particularly beyond just the damage. Have I, OGM?
No.
Okay. So I'm
okay, then come here. Let me heal you.
I
Well,
was
are you
hoping
still casting the hut, or you're waiting till you finish casting the hut?
Well, as soon as I finish casting this hut, then I will
Okay.
heal you.
Okay.
Well, so before the hut goes up, everybody needs to be inside, or else they won't be able to go in it.
yeah. We'll go
Okay,
in.
so let's all gather around the cleric.
Alright. So
Then you can boot me.
So
Not
you
before.
guys are kind of, fussing around with the hut and doing all of that sort of business, and it's you're just sort of dealing with all of that logistics. You get the hut up, but it's not very long after that you hear another wolf howl. But to your ears, this one sounds like an actual wolf.
Ale, you get 7 points of healing.
Thank you. That puts... Where's my character sheet? That puts me back up to 52 of 68.
Well,
Well, let's see what comes of this before we get out of the hut.
Right?
and how does the kid react to that?
I mean,
Owl.
this kid is not talking. You guys have
Finally.
not successfully managed to break him out of his shock. He's just looking
I see.
scared, like like he is not struggling or trying to escape you, but he's not offering you anything either.
So
Now
okay.
that the hut is up, I'm going to go back out to the central area of the camp there and keep my eye out for anything approaching.
All right. As you are watching, a wolf lopes into camp. And does not seem to be growling or hostile. Just kind of, kind of gallops into the center of camp. Gets to where it sees you and sees the magic hut, and it looks to all of you and says, "I have come for the boy. I will guide him to another wolf tribe camp, where he will be protected and safe."
Insight check.
Yes.
I think disadvantage because it's a wolf.
Yeah.
Okay. Inside at disadvantage.
So I got a 14. Dang, I rolled a 20 first.
16.
All right. I mean, you don't get any sense of dishonesty. Certainly, the other guy didn't really have. He had barely a pretense towards, to even saying the words that would suggest he was going to be nice to the kid. Whereas the wolf seems to just be standing there, non-hostile. You don't get a sense that it's lying.
And we join you for the journey.
All right. Approach the dome. If the boy.
When you ask that, can we join you for the journey? He says, "That will not happen, but not through my doing."
Approach the dome. If the child wishes to go with you, he is free to go.
Okay. The wolf kind of watches you, like he's approaching, and he looks up at you, like not afraid, but kind of just giving you all a look, like, "Don't do anything. I'm doing what you said." So kind of gives you that sort of look, like, "Don't trick me now. This is serious." So comes up to the side of the dome, and through the side of the dome just calls out, "Boy, I will take you to your uncle." And the kid had been still kind of in a lot of shock, but he kind of takes a deep breath. And he kind of stands up and he goes out to stand next to the wolf. And you realize, like, as he comes out of the camp, like, he's standing on the snow in bare feet and seems fine. And he kind of...
Does he give me back my cloak?
Yes, I mean, he was barely wearing it. You draped it over him, and it's not like he made any sort of, like, didn't bundle himself in it or anything like that. He seems like, he was kind of, you guys never really successfully got him to really acknowledge what you guys were doing for him. He was always
like
kind of
what is
just a little
supposed to
bit of a
happen to me.
daze, a little numb. But he stands next to the wolf and nods to it. And then there's a moment where he kind of just does briefly kind of look at the rest of you and doesn't quite nod, but then just kind of hugs his face into the wolf again.
Aw.
Safe travels.
Bad journey, Erix.
And all of you suddenly find your vision blurring into a flurry of snow and ice. And you are once again back in the Frostmaiden's fortress. And all of you are down in the little...
These trials feel very real.
Oh, I think they are.
Yeah,
In
Valine
some
says,
sense,
I
yeah.
don't see any reason to believe that they are not completely real.
Thing to venture
If
onto
he
the
had killed me,
glacier.
I would be dead.
More
don't
to the
doubt it.
point, I believe that the people who died in those camps were real people who are now dead.
Thing when we get to the glacier.
We're gonna have an interesting time when we get to the glacier.
All right, so
The Frostmaiden has a lot to answer for.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
All right, that's the last trial.
So here's again. So I comes to my question: do we want to look at the Frost Giant Queen's tomb before we go into the vault, or do we want to skip it and just go for the book?
I say this may be the only chance we get to explore this place a bit before stealing from a goddess and then having to deal with the consequences. So I'd say we check it out.
All right, let's have a look.
Valine looks, she kind of just says, to my mind, we came here for something, and any unnecessary second we spend here is pushing our luck. But I won't stop
That's
you.
fair.
True, but crap. That's
That is a very good point.
It is a strong argument against Ale's idea.
I don't know,
I'm
you know,
going
like,
to-
it's, you know, I think there's a case to be made on either side, personally. But that's me, Christiana. Valine is here for the book, and she does not care whatever might be in that tomb.
yeah. Jason was thinking, looking at her being shrug. We're murder hobos.
Hi, Wilfred is going up to the door and listening at it.
Okay. Yeah, so let me... so as you make your way up to that area... Yep. The passageway leads to an anvil-shaped room with a door set into the far wall. Flanking the door are bas-reliefs of two female frost giants holding great axes. Runes are carved into the door's surface. They are in Dwarvish script. Can any of you read that? I believe someone
I can read Dwarvish.
Right.
I can. Yes.
So those of you who can read Dwarvish, read that the inscription says, "In ice and blood, our folk are born. To our great queen we raise our horn. We'll fight and plunder in the morn. To Vasaviken we are sworn." And Vasaviken is formatted like a proper noun. But you do not hear anything from the door.
Okay.
It is also a 25-foot tall, 1 foot thick door of ice that has been closed for God knows how long. So, not hearing anything through it doesn't tell you very much, really.
Yes, that tells us nothing.
Hey, if feared, might as well try.
I'll take out. If he's gonna try to push this door, then I'm gonna take out my bow. Have at her, buddy.
I'm going to help Wilfred because this is my stupid idea that might get us all killed.
Wilfred,
but you know,
Wilfred was actually about to say, let's just get the book and go.
is that what Wilfred's going to say?
That's my thought. We are here as a favor to the villain, so we really should be following her.
I am outvoted. Okay, let's go get the book.
All right. She kind of wasn't going to say any more about it, but breathes a sigh of relief as you kind of follow her. And she's got her kobolds coming with her now. And as you make your way down into that area, this is the room you had been in before, where the passage leads to an anvil-shaped room with a door set into the far wall. Flanking the door are bas-reliefs of two male frost giants that have been defaced, their features chipped away. Newer carvings above the door depict the glowering heads of an owl, a wolf, and a goat. You had previously heard a voice say, This way is shut to all but those who pass the tests of cruelty, endurance, isolation, and preservation. However, this time, when you all step into that chamber, the door opens.
Dun, dun, dun.
And so in the next room here, arranged about this room are 3 tablets of ice, each 10 feet tall, 7 feet wide, and 1 foot thick. They sit upright in stands that are also carved from ice. Script has been chiseled into the surface of each tablet, and another door stands in the middle of the far wall. So, it actually should be 4 tablets. I'm not sure why it says 3 in that text paragraph. But the inscriptions on the 4 ice tablets in common spell out the tenets of Arl's faith. Cruelty. Compassion makes you vulnerable. Let cruelty be the knife that keeps your enemies at bay. Endurance. Exist as long as you can by whatever means you can. Only by enduring can you outlast your enemies. Isolation. In solitude, you can understand and harness your full potential. Depending on others makes you weak. And preservation. Every flake of snow is unique, and that which is unique must be preserved.
Interesting philosophy. Well,
Yeah. The cruelty is not the cricket.
well, let's see what we can do about this door, huh?
All right. Yes, you push on to the next door and press it open. And in that room, this chamber has a domed ceiling engraved with a giant snowflake, 2 caryatids. I think that's caryatids, depicting a towering woman stand on either side of a door in the south wall. In the middle of the room is a 5-foot-tall, claw-shaped lectern with a white-covered book resting on it. And it is, in fact, the Codicil of White. And Valine, rushes up to it, and there's, a moment of hesitation.
Check it for traps.
She's a wizard, not a thief.
Well, she looks around and if someone's going to check it for traps, please do that, because I'm about to grab this thing.
Okay. Investigation check?
Investigation?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you would be doing.
I got
have a +4.
I'm not good at that.
Do it.
Mara's basic thought is, she's no good to us dead.
I got an 18.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you don't see anything. I think even as you're looking, Valina is getting impatient. She's saying,
Yeah.
we just passed the 4 trials and the vault door opened for us.
But it would not be beyond the Frostmaiden to kill her followers.
I don't think that makes any sense at all.
Well, I would
looks
rather
fair to
not
us.
have you dead by
I
your
let you check it, didn't I?
This argument is pointless. Get the book. Let's get out of here.
She picks it up and she immediately starts flipping through it. And she is for the moment distracted by that.
Okay.
So there is also another door to the south in this room, but so for the moment, Valine is looking through the book.
I'm gonna go and push that one open.
Okay.
At least try.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and in that room, hang on. So beyond that door is a small room filled with mist. Chunks of broken ice cover the floor.
I am not going in that room.
Yeah, that.
That way looks like it leads to badness.
Yeah.
Or is already full of it.
Yep.
In fact, you might want to shut that door again.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
I'll pull it shut.
Sure. Okay. So, yeah, I think Valine is currently occupied by, she's reading bits of it and whispering, but then I think as you are kind of looking at her, she just looks up and nods.
Let's go.
And
Well,
then
then
it's time
let's
for us to
get outta here.
depart.
All right.
If we're not going to investigate anything else and not anger the goddess, let us leave.
So, so you all make your way back into that central chamber,
Yeah.
and you
Here
see
comes the-
standing in the middle of the. Come on, here we go. Standing in the middle of this big snowflake room,
Oh no.
and
Oh,
I have let me give you a handout here.
Oh boy. Oh. Mother of
Um,
mercy.
Come on, is there not a handout for? That doesn't make any
wrong
sense. There's
letter.
got to be one.
I used my divine smite on the wrong counter today.
All right. Here is the.
Use
Well, hang on.
I can't.
This is what you see. This is a. You see Oral's first form. You didn't need to know that it was her first form, but it is one of her various sort of manifestations that she takes, which is sort of like a hybrid of humanoid, goat, owl, and bear, and she is just standing in the center of the room, and Ukuma is kind of basically just like cowering in one of the far corners. And she's just standing there, just staring.
Crap.
I think we should just leave. Go.
Sure, but
I feel like Aule and Mara are giving death stares
It's like, yeah.
because we're like,
I want to
"Let's go out
kill
the
her.
guys,
So if Arl has any opinion about your facial expression at all, she makes no sign of it.
Yeah.
Alex,
Yes. Yeah, I know we're not here to kill her because she will kill us, Old Dead. I know. But she is my sworn enemy. But me dying uselessly against her.
come in. Grab your arm.
Ali is really conflicted. Like, oh God, I want to go after her.
Mara
Oh God, I'm
too."
weakened and don't have my best ability, and I will likely die.
needless. Listen, let's just go.
Yeah, Ali will move slowly and keep every chance he can get. Watch her.
Yeah.
So
It's just-
as you move past her, heading for that stairway, she definitely follows you with that owl thing of just like she just turns her head, not her torso. And she does not move or say anything. She just watches as you make your way towards the stair.
That's so comforting. All right.
And yeah,
Mara kind of looks at Rowan like, please stop me from doing something dumb because I really want to do something dumb.
Let's go.
I think you glance over at Akuma as you're heading to the stairs, and he's just kind of looking at you with a little bit of like slightly frightened, chastened expression.
Can I send him a message?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you tell me.
I am going to send him a message and say, don't worry, we will come back for you.
Oh,
You can respond in your mind.
He I think what you hear is That's really nice of you, but I think it might be better for you if you don't come back.
I am destined to return.
Well,
You-
I mean, you don't hear any of that. That's a
I
magic
can't-
conversation.
I can't say anything. Never mind.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just putting your tokens in a pile so that I can move them back over onto the other layer.
But I
Stop moving your tokens, please. I'm trying to put them so that I can move them onto the other layer. Thank you. All right. Because you going up well, and also you got you're leaving Piccolo behind. All right. So you all. Wait, was that? No, that was not the right level. Yeah, it was over here. So you managed to go back up those stairs, and you emerge once again in the that hemispherical room with all of those mephits staring down at you.
Yep. All right, guys, let's book it.
Indeed.
Yes, the sooner we are gone from this place, the better.
Let's get out of here.
All right, so as you all hurry back out, I will just bring you back out onto the island map. And you leave the fortress behind.
We're going to head over to where we left Ungajuk and hope that he's been waiting for 2 weeks for us.
Yeah. This could be a long swim.
Yeah.
Oh, but I can send him a message.
Yes.
I will send him a message.
Maybe wait until we get to the.
No, I'm going to send it to him now.
Oh yeah.
Because I know how long it will take us to get to the steps.
Mm-hmm.
So to the pier.
Yeah.
So-
What has happened to our Mephit friend?
Oh, he went away.
That's why he did not return.
So
Yeah.
I will send a message to our whale friend and say, we are alive, my whale friend, and we will be at the pier hopefully in whatever amount of hours it is. I hope we will see you there.
Well, it's really nice to hear from you. You were gone so long, I feared the worst. I can be there in about a day.
Okay, we will be waiting. And that's my last message style.
Alright, so you guys just kind of make no bones about it. You just kind of let's just follow the ice brick road back to the docks
Yep, yeah, we're not waiting for anything here.
and climb back down those enormous carved frost giant sized stairs.
And so we can do so we can do if we have to wait a day or a few hours, we can do the tiny hut, and hopefully we will be safe.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Kitty.
And Wilfred will go ahead and start the cast the tiny hut.
Okay. So I think that I can imagine that the mood at your little camp here while you're waiting is subdued, let's say. Because on the one hand, you know, you got what you came here for, which is pretty great, but it sure doesn't feel like the triumphant heist that you might have been initially envisioning.
No, not at all.
Nonetheless, though, Valine, you know, seems, you know, wary of celebrating prematurely, but nonetheless, you know, this is it. This is, you know, she got the Professor Orb, she got the Codicil, and furthermore, she now has flipped through it, and she explains to you that in addition to there just being a bunch of lore and stories about the Frostmaiden in general, first of all, there's a new spell she can learn, which she's pleased to discover. But most importantly, there is a poem that she believes if read aloud in front of the glacier, will break the waterfall seal and lead to where she thinks the city is. So exactly what she was hoping that it would be. It seems, in fact, to actually be that.
Just a poem read out, nothing more?
Well,
What?
it's
Power. You know this. You have studied the arcane.
Oh. I just wanted to make sure we, know any other materials, just in case.
Yeah.
Because we know what to seek.
I'm glad we've acquired all the things we came to acquire. But we just stole from a god.
Yeah.
I think
And
Valine
she-
says it's not at all clear to me that we stole from a god.
Why not?
I think that
We
what
passed
did
her
was-
trials, the vault opened for us, and she watched us leave with it.
Yes, I think that that she was there to let us know that she was aware of what
Of
we
our
had done.
actions.
And if she wanted to stop us, she was there. But I wonder whether there might be some kind of binding that she is, but once we've done her trials, there's something about us that she cannot.
That she could not attack it because we proved ourselves worthy of her tenets.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
It's-
sure if it's a matter of she can't, but at the very least, she didn't.
Yes.
It may well
And-
be that by passing her trials, we proved ourselves worthy.
If I had not been wounded and expended resources in the fight against the wolf leader, I admit I would have been tempted to attack her.
Well, at the risk
My-
of sounding
You and I both.
callous, I'm going to go ahead and suggest then that I'm glad that that didn't happen.
So am I.
I resisted my urges, thankfully, perhaps for the good of the party
I have
and
to.
our lives.
So this is where I wish to. These types of words don't always come naturally to me, but I want it to be spoken clearly. That I tasked you all with this mission. I recruited you for this purpose because I believed you capable, but now you have demonstrated your capability unambiguously, and I am very pleased to have brought you in on this mission, and I know that I could not have done it without you. I suspect there is more danger to come once we venture beneath the glacier. But
Undoubtedly.
this is a substantial step in the direction that we have all chosen.
Well, we could not have done as much as we have done in the last few weeks without your assistance as well, and we thank you for your patience in letting us get those things done so that we could concentrate our full attention on what you need us to do. And hopefully
Your
we'll be
dog's
able to
dead.
find hopefully we'll find something that will assist us further in Ithrin.
Yeah. Those dog sleds and your abilities were indispensable.
Yeah, we really couldn't have done it without you, so thank you very much.
Yeah. She gives you the sort of nod that is kind of like, I wasn't going to say it, but yes, and I appreciate you acknowledging that.
Yeah, I
and
figured she would.
And so what she says then is that what makes sense to me is that we don't open the passage through the glacier until we are prepared to go through it.
This is wise.
Yeah.
But, as mentioned, we've already delayed quite a bit.
Yeah, so no, I think our next stop is to resupply as needed and then head on to the Ragged Glacier.
But now I do have a question about who you think could get there before you, because we saw one of them is now an angry ghost here on this island.
Or Or was.
Who else is after the codicil and the city?
Well, I can only imagine that there are a great many who would be very interested and excited to find the city. I cannot account for all of them, but I know of at least Avarice, who was part of our original party. And we have some reason to suspect that Dazan perhaps was not as permanently revivified as we might have thought, but if he is still in existence, I suspect his promise to not seek the city was a lie. And who knows who else might be seeking it. And this is the only way I have found to reach it, but I do not know that it is the only way.
Wilfred, during this would be doing detect magic because he's worried that we've been marked somehow, and figures detect magic would show it.
Yeah.
Show something.
Well, certainly the Codicil of White, this book. In fact, actually, let me show you. Let me share with you what this book looks like because it's pretty cool.
Oh, neat.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
a very neat book. It's got character.
Yeah. So she is willing to. She has made it clear that she believes that the book is hers, but she's certainly willing to let you all look at it. And in particular, there is the first page is a title page with the snowflake symbol of Auril on it. It is written by followers of Auril as a primer on worshiping her. There's various priestly rituals and ceremonies in chilling detail, but among these is a spell that wizards can learn, which she's excited to learn herself, and then a poem called Rime of the Frostmaiden, Rime.
Name drop.
And Professor Scant and Valine, after studying like that bit of it, are sure that rhyme will, like that poem, when read aloud, will break the glacier open.
So, if this book has a get to know the Frostmaiden part for her followers, do they all have a copy of this?
Valine suggests that there may be many copies of parts of it, but I do not think that there are duplicates of this book.
Here's just an off the wall question. How, Professor Scant, how are you able to read? Would you be able to memorize the entire book?
Well, Valine is like, I could do that. I mean, we know the poem now, so yes,
Yeah.
I believe that we could use the poem without needing physical possession of the book. But I also don't see any reason to not have the book.
Right. No, and I'm totally not saying anything like that. I'm just saying, we wouldn't have to produce the book in order to do this.
I believe that's correct.
Put it at risk.
I agree. I've already made a copy of the poem in question just in case we should lose the book. But I believe that it is the words themselves and not the book that has the power.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to
and
double
so-
check and make sure.
Yeah, and so Wilfred, with detect magic, sure enough, like the book is magical, but you don't see any new auras on any of you.
No little runes hidden.
The little
somewhere.
snowflake that was on you whenever you were in one of those trials isn't there or anything.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. We don't appear to be marked in any.
Permanently marked. Yes,
Okay.
I would have to figure out a way to cleanse myself if that was the case. Marked by my sworn enemy? That's not good.
Well, if there is anything, it is not something that you can see with detect magic.
Yeah, and that's why I said obvious. So
Yeah. So,
Although if you,
okay.
I want to give Ale a look like we need to have a talk.
Yeah, we do need to talk.
Yeah. So I think that you are not disturbed in your camp until a day has gone by. I think in that time, You see the Frostmaiden once again begin her journey across the sky, casting the spell that keeps the sun at bay. And it is actually while she and the Rock are out flying over Icewind Dale that Angajuk arrives. And
Do you get a
is
long
happy to
rest
see you.
before Angajuk arrives?
Yes, and in fact, you're also going to get a slightly shorter trip back because you got the scenic route the first time. So,
But essentially, during that day of waiting, Mara would want to talk to Ale.
oh yeah, sure. So I was just offering that you weren't going to have anything else disturb
Okay.
you, so
Great.
you can all kind of decide how you would have spent that time on the island versus once you're on Angajuk and away from the island.
So I'll take Ale a little bit away. As I need to ask a favor of you.
Anything.
That whole trial left me feeling very unclean, and I feel it probably did the same for you.
Doing the trials of my sworn enemy, yes. I feel very discomforted by it all.
Would it be too much trouble to teach me how to do a rededication ceremony for you and have you do a rededication ceremony for me?
We teach each other and we cast for each other. I think that is a very good idea.
I feel like this is something that we both need, but I don't want to do it here. I want to do it when we
Once we're away from this accursed
once we're away
place.
from this place. Yes.
Once we're back in 10 towns. Agreed.
The DM nods sagely.
Thank you. It's my heart hurts
Yes.
from everything that happened, and Iggy.
The Frostmaiden would love for you guys to
Yeah.
call upon other gods on her domain.
Yeah, that's just asking for her.
I
all
feel like
sorts of-
because they are mutually aligned that it would not be too much of a thing, but
the
also
thing, but the Frostmaiden would,
Yeah.
or Frostmaiden would be like Sauron's eye and just look at us like, oh crap.
exactly.
I just have this
Exactly.
image of Neo Bahamut from like Final Fantasy VII, just like with this ray that comes down.
But yes, and like I also do want to check on Iggy and make sure that Iggy is okay because we both came out of cruelty very, very
Yes.
traumatized.
Yes. That,
So after that conversation, Iggy, are you okay?
I don't like situations like that where I feel like my hands are tied, where there are no good choices and all there are bad ones. It breaks my heart. It absolutely, it destroys something in me to even have to witness something like that. And I do not have a god to rededicate myself to. I know I overheard you and Ale talking, and I wish you the best with getting that completed so that your souls will be at peace. I do not have that luxury.
Well,
I have to find some other way.
it's not so much that you need someone to dedicate to, as much as it is that these ceremonies are about, so dedication to a god service. This is one thing that we as individuals have chosen, being chosen by those deities. But there are other ceremonies that can help. There is a ceremony of atonement if you feel that is what you need. I can help you with this. I want to help heal your heart because this was terrible. What we did in there, as you said, there was no good options. And it felt like it was the only way.
The I will think about it.
You think
Well, think about the ceremony of atonement. I do not know. Let me think about it.
you are welcome to think as long as you need, my friend. Just know that you don't have to process this alone if you don't want to. You are very secretive, and that is okay. That is okay. We all have secrets, but I want you to know that you are not an outsider. I am not an outsider. None of us are. We are in this together.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Let's get some rest before we go on the lovely whale boat tour.
Yeah, I wonder if that jar would be willing to pour out some fermented libation while we take that.
You'd have to ask Ale because he's in possession of it.
I will.
Ali's the
Yeah.
barkeep.
Well, and I imagine Arvik just like wherever he was when you said that, just what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
go over to Arvik and kind of nudge him with my boot and say, "Come on, let's go bug Ale." When we get on Angerjuk and see if he can
Yes.
pour us out a couple.
Party barge!
When we're on the boat, not before.
I think at some point while we're waiting, Wilfred would say, I've been noticed that in the last couple trials I've been feeling kind of weird.
You've been acting weird,
It's true.
Wilfred. Oh, have you pulled me off aside from, or can everybody?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay. You've
Yeah,
been acting as if you're the, what is the phrase? The best of everything. And you are a formidable fighter. You understand magic. You know things I will never know. But I fear this. I fear you. I fear you're suffering from excessive pride in your own abilities, and I fear. I mean, I was tempted to attack the Frostmaiden. I feared that you would attack the Frostmaiden in your desire to prove that you're the best of everything.
Well,
I'm glad you did not, as I did not.
My thought was, she doesn't matter. Like,
Ali's eyes go. What?
like,
No,
well,
yeah,
and then, like,
wrong thing to say.
if she did attack, it'd be nothing. Like we, I'm great enough that that all of us together, we would have just swatted her away.
Wilfred, I'll put a paw on Wilfred. Wilfred, no. The
I know.
Frostmaiden is the most dangerous creature in
I realize that now.
the Vale. That the fact that you would think that we could swat her away tells me something is wrong.
Yeah,
Rowan leans back from where he's sitting inside the hut and just do what? You think we can swat away a divine being?
I imagine. Since we're kind of taking time, we kind of take turns doing the hut, so Wilfred would be out of the hut, away from.
Oh, so he's just talking to Ali about this.
Literally.
Okay, so
Yeah,
so it's
that's
just,
Sal.
Okay, so this is a Mara hut now. Got it.
this is the Mara hut. No, we could not
I know,
swat her
realize
away. I think I don't have the words for this. I don't know enough about this. I think something is wrong with the way you're thinking.
When did this start?
It started when you disappeared. Well, after the trial where you disappeared and half the people disappeared. After that trial of not endurance, the other one, isolation. Then you started acting weird. I think that trial did something to you. Now, I know Allie doesn't know it won't work, but I mean, I don't know it won't work, but Allie's going to try to cure disease on him. Spend five spend five of his lay on hands to try to cure, because he thinks, oh, it must be a disease. I know and try to cure disease on Wilfred.
Yeah,
with laying on
I
hands.
mean, you try it and it feels like a little warm on your shoulder there, Wilfred. But I mean, nothing else seems to happen.
Maybe Mara has some spell that can cure this, or we can find someone in 10 towns that can fix this. But there's something wrong, Wilfred.
This might not be something that can be cured with magic. At least magic we know. I think it's.
I don't know. I don't know enough. I'm just a guy. The dragon god said, "Go explore and fight for me," and here I am.
I think I might just have to watch myself. Try to not.
Wilfred, you think you can handle it. This is, I mean, it's a tough situation for anyone to be in, but I mean, if anyone can watch their own behavior and make sure that they're not doing anything reckless, you can.
Oh.
Yeah. But
You got this. It's good.
At least I know I have you to watch my back on this.
We are the front line of this party. I need you at your best as you need me at my best.
Oh man.
If you're gonna say it, say it.
I am at my best.
No, you're not. I fear that you can't see it is the problem. Unfortunately, Spence has disappeared. Otherwise, I think it's time for Ellie to talk to Mara again.
Well, are you guys
Now
having
I
all
want
of these
us to fix this, and he can't.
conversations in the while you're still waiting for Angajuk? Or
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this is all happening before we leave the island.
okay.
So, Mara, Ollie wants to talk to you again. Oh, yeah, I can't hear you.
Headphones?
Sorry,
Okay.
our audience was talking to me.
Oh, our beloved audience. Hi, audience.
Well, the audience.
Oh,
that's
that
in the room
audience.
Right
Oh,
now.
those audience in chat. Oh, oops.
Got it.
Hi.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh.
Go back to drawing Mara.
Right.
Okay. Yes. Sorry, I was meditating. What up?
Yeah. So Ollie will draw Mara away from the others, especially Wilfred.
Well, I'm in the. This.
Oh,
is
you're in the
my
hut.
room. I
Okay.
can't
So I'll
leave.
sit really close and speak as small as the 6'6" dragonbird can.
Mhm.
There's something wrong with Wilfred.
Oh, you
and
noticed that too.
I tried to cure whatever disease it was, and it failed. It's a sickness of the way he thinks about things. I mean, he seems talking about swatting the Frostmaiden as if she were nothing.
What, the Frostmaiden?
I mean, it's like he believes he can do anything, and he's the best of everything.
You know, I noticed that there was a change in Arvik too.
Oh, I did not notice that. Tell me more.
Arvik keeps talking about how much he wants to drink. Like, he never used to. But now,
No,
that,
I can't.
only
Yeah,
every time we have a break, I could really use a drink.
then I guess I'm not going to open up that jug while on the ship.
Well, I don't mind. I think that right now everybody could use a drink. Let's be real. We just went through some hell, and we could probably use some time to
Yes, but
to deal with it. Just monitor and say nope, it's all done, or whatever.
But Wilfred and Arvik were two of the ones that disappeared during the isolation trial. I think that's what caused it.
I wonder if Iggy is affected too.
I don't know. Maybe Iggy is better at hiding it.
Maybe, or maybe they are stronger-willed. Who knows?
But
But
it bears watching and caring about. But is there anything you have in your abilities as a cleric that might help either of them? I can't. I apparently cannot.
Uh, I mean, if it were like a poison or being blinded or deafened or something, I could do something.
I'll go ahead and say, Mara, that you, given the source, given the source of this, if if you're right that this is some kind of induced personality change as a result of a goddess's trials, might need the big guns like Greater Restoration.
Yeah, that's actually where I was going.
Okay,
I think I would need to be much more powerful for this, but we also have to accept that this may be be caused by whatever trauma that they went through that they don't remember. And sometimes that can't be fixed. It can only be monitored.
Scarred over, yeah.
So, as much as we want to help, because that is the way we are.
That's the way we both are, yes. We may not be able to.
We
I
may
see
not
your
be
point.
able to. It
We just
may
have to.
be up to the gods to fix something like this.
We just can only do our best to make sure they don't injure themselves and others in whatever has hobbled them. So
And keep caring for them the way that we do.
yes, agreed. Very much agreed.
Soon we will
It
be.
it is a burden to help others, but it's also a joy.
That is very true. But we'll watch them and we will do what we can. I know that there are going to be stronger spells that I can use as we get stronger and with all of the trials that we face. So maybe I'll find something as inspiration comes, as Selune grants me power. But until then, I'm sorry, I don't think I have
Alright.
anything that would help.
And we do what we do what we said until then. Until the day we can help them escape the demons that now plague them.
We are truly blessed with some good friends, though.
We
I mean, they did help us not attack the frost, though we
yes.
really wanted to.
Yes, and we will. She will be overthrown, but not today is not that day.
I am
she
nervous
will be.
about this city, but excited at the same time.
An underground ancient city.
Well, it's more that. Do you remember when I told you about the mission I am on for the Raven Queen?
I was wondering about that. Please tell me more.
So, in the mirror, we saw the city, and there is a creature there called the Irolarthas.
Irolathos.
That is what I am tasked with destroying. I do not know if we'll be able to do so before we destroy the Frostmaiden, but I need to try. I have to try. I need to be free of the Raven Queen.
I promised I would with all my strength help you be free of this. And I hold myself to that promise. I hold my promises seriously.
I know.
We will take the time and effort to find this creature and destroy it so that you are freed of this bond. This fetter, this shackle.
It's more like you say a shackle. It's more like seeing the key to the shackle and it being so close to being in reach, but I can't stretch quite far enough yet.
And if you stretch it, we move farther away. There is a story of someone punished by the gods. He was cursed with thirst and hunger, chained in a lake with a tree of fruit above him and the water up to his neck. But if he would lower his head to drink, the water would recede. If he would reach up for the fruit, it would move out of reach.
So you always need someone else to help.
We always need someone else to help.
I'm glad we all found each other.
So am I. So am I.
Well, I think that's maybe a good note to offer to the party here, that we can montage our way through the next little bit. So I don't want to deprive anyone of scenes that you want to have, but what I'm going to say is that if the plan is wait for Angajuk, have Angajuk take you back to Angajuk's bell, and then perhaps, since you don't have the dog sleds anymore, you would maybe hike on foot back to Bryn Shander and get dog sleds, because you certainly can afford them now.
Yeah.
And then make your way towards the glacier. If that's the plan, we can go ahead and montage all of that happening. So, like I said, I don't want to stop you from having any scenes that you want to have in that time, but we also don't need to belabor the slow parts.
I think that Arvik is going in Bryn Shander is going to go to the tavern and get plastered.
Yeah, I was.
I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
So there's that in the way, and he's also was like Alec promised that he'd break out the jug.
He's
for the
going to
trip
break
back.
out the drug on the ship once. After what Mara has told him, once.
Well, you can only do it once in a 24-hour period anyway.
So there we go. So that makes it perfectly fine.
Yeah, but you can make a gallon though.
A gallon of wine or 4 gallons of beer. But the thing is, spread around 6 ways, it's not a gigantic amount.
Yeah.
No. It's not
It's
alcohol
significant,
poisoning.
but
Well, I think there's also plenty of people that are not necessarily.
right, and Arvik
Yeah.
will definitely take anyone's share who doesn't want to finish theirs.
Iggy is definitely
Yeah.
going to join you in getting plastered, at least on the ship. Not in town, but on the ship, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Mara will drink. Mara needs a drink.
And we know
So-
the trip's going to take a while, so there's plenty of time to sober up afterwards.
Yeah.
So
How long does the return trip take?
Well, so because it took 3 days the first time, because Angajuk was kind of not in a hurry to get to that island, and also had lots of cool stuff to show their new friends. But now it's a little bit more like, all right, let's go ahead and get out of here, and gets a little bit of a sense, does vibe check and says, hey, maybe we don't need to check all of the different places. So I think maybe let's say half the time. So day and a half gets you back to Angajuk's bell, and then because you're on foot with your snowshoes and so on, you've got probably a couple of days getting back into Bryn Shander, but
just a couple of days. I thought it was further
Are we
than that.
camping at night? Because that way I can get rid of my last point of exhaustion.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course we are.
Great.
Well, so it's 20 miles from Angajuk's bell to Bryn Shander, and if you're going 2 miles an hour,
Oh okay. So yeah.
Would it be faster to go to the ruins of Bremen and then take the road?
it doesn't. We're montaging. It's not.
Yeah.
Let's not worry about that.
Yeah, we don't have to overthink
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. I already moved the token to Bryn Shander, and I only
Okay.
stopped it
Well-
there because we're talking about it.
Okay.
I just asked because I was curious.
Okay. Yeah. No. I don't want to skip past anything you guys want to do, but I'm also saying nothing's going to bother you at this point. Like you're.
Right.
Yeah.
And one thing I do want to know is we've been away for 2 weeks basically, or longer. How are things going in Bryn Shander?
There's there's rebuilding underway, but obviously it's there's lots of people available, but there's a lot of oh, very nice.
Oh,
Oh,
Those of you listening on audio, we're looking at a cute picture.
So she drew the picture of me yelling, "Check for traps."
So
So cute.
yeah, so they are. So like, there's rebuilding underway, but it's tricky because they don't have a lot of like construction materials. Like there's a significant shortage of that. And so what you're seeing is a lot of very sort of ramshackle structures being put up where people are trying to stay. You don't it's emptied out a little bit compared to what it was because you had a few people trying to go back to maybe rebuild other parts of some of the other towns that have a little bit standing, like East Haven. And they're doing okay. Duvessa Shane is still in charge, although if you stop by and talk to her, she'll definitely still complain that what's his face, the town speaker that was in Targos before is still making trouble for her, but she's fending him off for now.
only we could have gotten. Only the duplication thing worked right.
Oh well.
I think Wolford is kind of maybe might have consider a direction he wants to bring his studies.
Yep.
All right, so we with some taking some time in Bryn Shander to sleep in a bed for a night or two, enjoy some alcohol, a little bit of get a breather, resupply everything, and procure fresh dog sleds in Bryn Shander. You once again set out. I would imagine you probably do take the road up along, the east way up. I don't know if you would stop in East Haven, but going up at least up through Caer Konig to to get up there, and basically you're making your way. And I will now reveal on the map, because it's relevant, the location of the Caves of Hunger. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, you guys don't know it's called the Caves of Hunger, but basically this is, Valine knows where this waterfall that's like a seam in the glacier is, right? And that's the place that she believes will open when you do the rhyme. And so that's where she's leading you. And so you've got a couple of days on the on your way up there. We'll go ahead and get you right up close through there. And as you are making your way up there, you're getting pretty close. You're only maybe a couple of hours away when you crest another ridge and spot a dozen humanoids approaching, their cloaks flapping in the wind, sweeping down from the eastern glacier. They appear to be ragged warriors of the Elk tribe, which was the tribe that you did the endurance trial with.
Right.
But
this is gonna be interesting.
how do you react to their approach? They don't seem hostile.
Well, they were not hostile to us when we told them that we weren't actually working for the Frostmaiden, so they kind of know that we don't work for them.
Well, if it's the same group.
It might not be.
If it's the same group, then they would recognize us and recognize that we did the thing with them and we weren't a threat to them.
So they, you allow them to approach, basically.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You realize that these, although they are dressed similarly to the Elk tribe that you met, they don't seem to be the actual same group. So you don't recognize any individuals. But one of them leads you, kind of beckons you to a little rocky alcove where you can kind of talk briefly out of the wind. And he says, I have been told that you helped others of the Elk tribe on a difficult journey. And I've had a vision that I feel I must share with you. Tigers with ice in their veins come to spill your blood upon the snow. They will do everything in their power to keep you from finding what the Frostmaiden has preserved under the ice. We will escort you to your destination and protect you if it comes to that.
Inside check, please.
By all means.
I say please because, you know, want to
Sure,
be
sure, no, yeah.
Hey, 30-20.
You don't get any deception at all from him. In fact, though, that like the vibe you get from him is that you guys seem really determined to go somewhere that he sure wouldn't want to go. But he believes that you are fated to go there regardless, and that his task is to ensure that you get there. And so he is determined to do that, even though he thinks that where you're going sounds really dangerous and he's not sure you're going to be okay, but that he believes it's his purpose here to escort you there on your way.
We
thank
gratefully
you for
accept your-
consideration.
Yeah, Mara is like, we gratefully accept.
We are honored.
Let's fight together.
This is the day we draw swords together.
If my vision is to be believed, the fate of the Dale rests upon your shoulders.
Unfortunately,
pressure.
that seems to be true.
But our shoulders are strong.
All right. So he's got.
Mara like glares.
Wilfred.
Iggy will step on Wilfred's foot.
Okay, so they've got 10 warriors of the Elk tribe there with them, and the guy that the shaman who had this vision is Mjolnir. That's just his name. There's no last name. So he and his fellow tribesfolk, escort you on your journey. They've got their own dog sleds, so you don't need to like wait on them or anything like that. You are continuing towards the glacier now with the Elk tribe escort. But then, sure enough, as you come close to the glacial wall, the rugged glacier rises hundreds of feet into the sky. The foot of the glacier is still a half-mile away. Suddenly, nearly 24 figures burst out of the snow 60 feet away from you. They are spaced roughly 10 feet apart and begin advancing in a line. So they, none of you are especially surprised, especially the Elk tribesmen had already seemed like on guard. But basically, Mjolnir looks to you and says, "We will hold them off. You go do what you need to do."
How badly are they outnumbered?
Let's see. It's so it's 10 against 24.
That's pretty bad.
We can't.
There are too many. We will help you fight them.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a question.
All right.
Have we stopped the dog sleds?
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah.
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 Now, like what he was offering is that they would hold them off of you while you race ahead. But if you're going to fight with them, then I need to. I think at this point I don't have a combat map set up for that. But I could pull one up pretty quickly here. But it's also late enough. Do we want to start this combat now or?
Next time's fine with me.
I think this is a good cliffhanger.
Yeah.
A fight together with the nomads against a common foe.
Well, I was thinking the cliffhanger might be you actually reading the poem, but that's fine too. So it's all good. No, you guys want to help out the Elk tribe, and that's laudable. So we will
We have
have
had
that
too
battle.
much death recently.
The battle in the shadow of the glacier next time when we come back for more adventure on so many levels. Rime of the Frostmaiden.